Welcome.
I did not fire up the VPN. What do you think? VPN? No VPN? How's
Hi.
Did we try one without the VPN?
Let's do it without the
All right.
VPN.
Let's see what the crowd
crowd
says.
See what they say. Secret ingredient is no VPN.
That
Sounds about right.
Ooh, I have Windows updates available.
you should get those.
No, not right now. We're
No,
doing
you
a
don't
thing.
want to do that right now.
No, don't do that right now.
Don't.
Totally don't.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Hey,
whoa.
Just getting
Whoa.
cute. Getting cute up.
Whoa.
You're all about it.
Oh jeez. I don't know what our secret ingredient is.
A bobo.
Twinsies. And twins.
With the twins. I gotta tweet this out to the tweeterers.
Oh, that's right.
Oh fuck.
Hey, language.
Sorry.
Jeez, Chuck.
Sorry.
Chuck. This
Done.
is a family
apologize.
show.
Family show.
Okay.
Talk about.
I'll
Have you seen all
apologize.
those clean tags we have on our podcast?
We do all the clean tags.
Man.
Did you ever miss one?
I think I fixed ones, but if you had old ones downloaded, you had to re-download them
Oh.
in iTunes.
Uh huh. Yep.
Huh.
Right.
I love that screen cap for the American Samurai live stream.
It's pretty good.
Last week's not so good.
Is it just us?
Yeah.
Did I not put it?
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, sorry.
It's just us sitting around a table.
I hadn't
Ugh.
showered in like 8 days, so I was not thinking about.
You are a filthy, filthy man. Chuck.
Yes, totally.
Totes filth.
Still are.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking
Little bit.
about.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A
Live.
little bit.
The stream is live now.
I'll put this on my Tumblr.
Tumblr.
Humbler.
I guess I could post to the.
Live now.
Now we're live.
Well, we are.
Did you put it on Tumblr?
I just got to YouTube so I can get
Oh,
all the
okay.
comments and
Did they
have fun.
change YouTube around again?
Probably,
Okay.
but I'm on the comments only page.
Oh, that's a good page.
Yeah.
How many fans do we have?
All
All right. That sounds great.
It's not listing them. right now.
about maybe
Mm-hmm.
268 subscribers, 24,323 views. We need to up that by like 1 million.
So we made more off of Amazon than
Yes.
we have off of YouTube already.
Yes,
What?
absolutely.
That's a wow. That was a definitive statement right there.
Absolutely.
I was like,
Wait,
yes.
out of like just the go buy this movie here links?
Uh huh. Well, I say yes. I mean, it will be more in the long run because we've only gotten one. It's weird. It like takes a week for new things to show up or credit you on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bizarre how behind it is. But I mean, like one click thing was like, okay, well that was 2 months of YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've made like 4 cents,
Sweet.
something like that.
Awesome.
I mean, I can't.
Oh, you can't withdraw it until
Use
it's like $100, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say 100 is the minimum or something. Chuck would know. Chuck's Captain Fat Stacks over there.
I am.
He's rolling. in
Yeah,
the-
you need to
rolling
get
the
another
Tosh
video
money.
on Tosh.0.
Yeah, I do.
Or get on that.
And yeah.
Hey, get us on Tosh.0.
Okay. Well, we have to hit each other in the nuts or something.
Sweet. Stand up.
One of us has to go. Oh, okay.
Or Rochambeau. You go. I'll go first.
Yeah. All right. Great. Wait. No. How? And see.
Oh, you were. I didn't realize we were supposed to be acting. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was
Oh,
doing a bit.
I was still getting into my space.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I was way ahead of you. Doing a bit. Hey,
Human Torch was not big.
that digital copy of Anchorman 2 that we paid $35
Uh-huh.
for is now available.
It is. If I could get
get it?
onto Voodoo and then link it onto Ultraviolet.
Yeah. My code never worked. I had to email Paramount Support.
The code I didn't have to put the code in. The code I put in long ago automatically credited it to me. So it kept telling me the one that they sent me in the email was invalid, but then I clicked through and I was like, oh, there it is.
Invalid?
Oh, okay.
Because I redeemed the same one I redeemed for Wake Up Ron Burgundy, which I already had.
Gotcha.
But whatever.
Coolio.
Yeah.
Cool.
But no,
So they didn't give you the more jokes version?
I don't think so. I think it's just the standard.
Oh, that's a shame.
But no, I tried to log into Voodoo on the webpage. It was like, your password is expired. Click the link. We're going to send you an email that we will never send.
Oh.
So I'm still waiting for that email.
That's great.
Yep. Love the digital future. Big fan.
So what's the secret ingredient?
I don't know yet.
All right.
We didn't think this far ahead when we decided to do secret ingredients every week.
Well, what was the backup one that we said we would do?
Do we have a backup?
Yeah,
We had a backup. Like we were
No, we
planning
didn't.
something.
maybe.
No, we didn't.
Still do not have a Voodoo email. Awesome.
Hey, they just emailed me about something.
Cool.
Oh, they want me to buy more stuff. Rent Frozen.
Ugh.
Yeah, boy. Talk about Facebook today. Everyone's like, you can tell who has kids because they're like, Frozen comes out today. Frozen, I can get a copy of Frozen.
So many people talking
I
about
have,
the
like-
movie. I had no.
That gives me like
Awareness
90
of.
minutes of silence for my kids. Frozen is my new babysitter.
I don't know when the movie came out. I don't know how long it played in theaters.
Apparently, it came out on video today,
Hmm.
as every parent has informed me.
New from the Disney Vault. Soon to
Yeah.
go back in the Disney Vault.
Oh yeah, it's probably only on sale for a week.
Mhm.
That's why there's a freaking frenzy to get a copy.
Yeah.
Because your child will never forgive you, and they'll know that you truly don't love them.
Your child
never
will
will.
never forget you. Forgive you.
Or forget you.
Or forget you.
Forget you.
Those poor children that have to go without Frozen. What will they do? What will they do?
Mm.
I kind of like twinsies, by the way.
Okay.
You ready? Was that a you're ready sign?
Probably the best it's gonna get.
I see you shiver
I'm so ready.
in anticipation. Yes?
I guess so.
All right.
This week on the BMFcast, it's the third week of March to Casco's, and the secret ingredient is Milano cookies. One star. We're myself laughing.
Not what you said you were gonna
Nope,
say.
not at
God damn it! I was prepared for twinsies. So he's gonna say twinsies, and I'll be like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
twinsies. How's that cookie?
That's good. I like it.
Hey, welcome to the BMFcast. Welcome to the BMFcast.
So, we ready to make podcast words?
Let's
Mhm.
make
Give me a
podcast
minute.
words.
I need to get some more water. I wasn't going to get up while he was recording his intro.
Okay.
And I don't have a giant smart water bottle like you.
Because you're a dumbass.
My smart water is half full.
Yeah, I get
Or is it
idiot
half empty?
water.
Nope, half full because I'm smart.
I'm a big fan of idiot water.
I don't think smart has anything to do with your
Standard
pragmatism.
What?
I don't think smart has anything to do with your pragmatism. Now it's half empty.
You use big words. Did you get it all? Yeah. Suck down
For the
them
live stream, folks.
Sonic fumes.
Yeah. Sonic Fumes.
Sonic fumes, an underrated Sonic the Hedgehog game.
Ton of echo on the live stream.
Echo must be
Echo.
our lack of VPN.
You're getting up with Mark Echo.
Content's under pressure.
I hear there's echo.
Echo, you say?
Only on the stuff he plays. Harlow plays off his laptop.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's probably because
It's not a laptop? He's not a laptop!
No,
I
I'm not
know.
doing that thing they do.
You have
in
to do that
movie.
thing. You have to.
What is it, like this?
Yeah. No.
No.
You failed.
That was too much
No.
touching for me.
No.
I want
Bad.
to fist bump and a high five. That seems like the ultimate thing.
But wait.
No, I can't. Yes. My water bottle explodes.
Boosh indeed. It's the bushiest.
Boosh, you said it.
Boosh. Get some.
Boosh.
There's the secret ingredient.
Boosh.
Boosh.
The secret ingredient is boosh. It actually is really rough on my vocal cords.
How do you think that man does it? Every day.
He's Mark fucking Dacascos. That's how he does
He
it.
gets paid a lot and then he eats.
And then he eats
He's
the
got
food
the
that
best
is
job
prepared.
there.
Yeah.
These guys make gourmet meals and all he has to do is go, please, show us what you've made today. And then he gets to nod and
Yeah.
eat all the food while everyone else makes pithy quips about it.
Oh, look at this publicity shot.
Thank you for a delicious meal.
Oh, who put her in that
I don't
outfit?
know.
That outfit is just.
Is it IMDb publicity
It's
shot?
ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Is it the Thigh Master outfit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that outfit didn't do her many
She's
favors.
like- a hot lesbian gym coach,
Ooh.
Odd lesbian gym coach.
which was a good show on NBC.
Yeah, that's right. I love that.
Oh, is it the pink one?
It's a black and white picture.
Yep. Did she wear more than one thing in this movie?
No,
No.
they all, except at the end when
Yeah.
they changed into super outfits. Because they were fabulous.
Wikipedia page says, reviews by critics.
Refused
not-
by critics?
No, reviews by critics were not favorable.
Whoa.
That's, yeah.
It's crazy.
It currently has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
I think that qualifies as
I think Armin
Not
White
favorable.
needs to watch this movie and maybe
oh,
find
he will
the
tell us that
subtext.
the hidden subtext.
Yeah. Of race relations in
Mhm.
post-earthquake Los Angeles.
Oh, because the brothers are obviously not of the same ethnicity. That signifies that they're fighting for one world
Mm-hmm.
where race does not matter.
Oh, subtext.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
However,
that. Uh-huh.
neither of them's black, so
Oh.
Armand White might not care as much.
Right. Right.
Just throwing it out there, though.
Sure.
Let's get it out there.
I've never met the man.
Okay.
Really?
Thankfully, no.
Okay.
Though he did get kicked out of, what is it, the Film Critics Association?
Yeah.
Yeah. Took him long enough.
So he doesn't count on like Rotten Tomatoes anymore?
I
think
don't
he
know.
does. He just
yeah,
doesn't.
I think just about anybody that has
It's
a
like being
website with more than
discredited
10 reviews gets on Rotten Tomatoes.
By a library.
He just doesn't get invited
we should
to
rotten up
fun
some
events.
Mm,
We should be in the Metacritics.
totally. Well,
Yeah, let's make a podcast.
okay.
Somebody clap.
Mackie, it's your turn.
Anyone not me with finger on the button.
Mackie, clap.
Clap, not fap.
One of us wants to get out at a certain time.
All right.
Yeah. Not me. Not me. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Episode 218.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure is.
That's some numbers for sure.
So I'm Harlow.
Mackie.
I'm BJ.
And I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is sometimes we have theme months. A lot of times we have theme months. Like March to Costco's.
Yay!
And then what we do, even when it's not a theme month, is we go ahead and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
We come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then the movies, they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies, they get 1-5 Jacksons and Robot Jocks! Robot Jocks! And the bad movies, since they stay away, they get a negative sliding scale, 1-5 bags as in douchebags under Twilight.
That's a terrible movie.
Yuck.
Boo. So, week 3 of March to Costco's has gotten us a little punchy. Because because we watched 1994's Double Dragon.
Hooray!
Yeah!
Double Dragon.
Sure.
Also because it's St. Robert Patrick's Day yesterday.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I forgot that part. Yeah.
Synergy.
No.
Yeah.
Theme months coming together.
I like that you just did the little hand.
Yeah, the
He did the
finger,
synergy hand
fingers
motion.
coming
This-
together thing.
things coming together.
Right.
That's how we're all just latched onto that enthusiasm Chuck has.
Yeah. Hey, let's read a plot summary. Try
Go
something
for
new.
it.
Two brothers have half of a powerful ancient Chinese talisman. An ancient...
Ancient Chinese talisman, you say?
An evil... fuck! An evil gang leader has the other half and determines to get the brother's half and have a complete medallion so he can gain absolute power. Absolutely.
Is he a gang leader?
He leads some gangs.
I
He
guess
becomes a
does.
gang leader. Let's put it that way, because he unites all the gangs. But
Right.
he's really just a
Businessman.
businessman,
Muckety-muck.
richest guy in the world, they say at one point in time.
Yeah,
Oh, Tony Stark.
Sure.
kind of is. He kind of builds Stark Tower at one point.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah.
We're in the
cast.
future.
Yeah. We're going to go
Yeah,
right
the
to
distant future of 2007.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. In New Los Angeles. Oh, New
No,
Angeles.
New Angeles.
New
Yeah.
Angeles.
Let's talk about the cast real fast.
Okay.
Obviously, as Mark Dacascos.
Hooray!
Qualifies.
Yes.
Scott Wolf from Party of Five. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
All right.
Robert Patrick, as we mentioned.
Yay!
As the evil
Yay!
guy.
BMFcast alum.
Shinzan. Shin
Koga
Pogo.
Shuko.
Shiitake mushroom.
Koga
Right.
Shuko.
Coco Puco.
Oh, right. Boy.
Am I right? And then-
Shockingly, that insult is not used in the movie.
No, it totally
Oh
is.
yeah, it totally is.
Is it?
Towards the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I said
I-
I couldn't come up with that on my
I
own.
had stopped listening. At
Oh,
that
okay.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. Who else?
Alyssa Milano.
Yay!
Milano cookies.
She's pretty.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And some people.
Al
Showing up.
Leong.
Yes, well, yeah.
Bamcast alum.
There's a
BMFcast
bunch
alum,
of like,
Al Leong.
that guys that show up. Al
Michael
Young,
Berryman.
shows up. Yeah.
Bamcast Zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other people.
And a cast of thousands.
Vanna White.
Oh, well,
George Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Andy Dick.
As themselves.
what?
It's crazy.
Nuts.
Ugh. So,
I also want to point out that Al Young and his partner, the two henchmen, were Huey and Lewis.
Right.
Yes.
Because they come in at one point and Robert Patrick asks them what the news is.
Lois, what's the news?
Yeah, there's lots of bad moments like that in Double Dragon.
Yeah. Let's talk about the plot if we can.
Sure.
Yeah, as we said, it's post-earthquake that apparently happened in 2000-ish.
Yes, 2000.
That shook the foundation of Los Angeles, created a big river of gunk,
Mm-hmm.
and now
Sort of just expanded the LA River.
yeah,
Yeah. And filled it with poison.
Right. more
gasoline, water,
Flammable poison.
more liquid.
And
Okay.
basically, since that happened, I guess the gangs went rampant, and the police were like, "Hey, we're going to institute a curfew. We're off the streets when sunset happens,
Because
and
it's too dangerous.
the nights are yours.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep peace during the day. Whatever happens at night, it's on you."
Because the
We'll put signs up telling people when the curfew is, if they're out after curfew.
so it's kind of like The Purge if The Purge happened every night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the basic plot. The movie opens in somewhere in China.
Mm-hmm.
Not important where.
Nope.
But it's just a village.
We wouldn't know where it was if
Just
they told us.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's just a village, thatch roof cottages.
Mm-hmm.
Thatch roof cottages. And there's random invading Mongolians.
Yeah.
And
No.
well, okay, it's Robert Patrick's gang, but I mean, it's traditional Chinese farmer and monk garb versus guys that are dressed like invading Mongolians, basically. Ninja, stupid 90s ninja costumes and burning all the villages.
One of them's a lady.
and Shredder. Shredder is a lady.
Shredder is a lady.
Yeah, but they're chasing down half of the medallion, which is in Candle Temple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which-
Candle Cave.
Candle
One-
Cave.
Yeah, Candle Cave. And one of the monks is supposed to be guarding it, but is doing a terrible job because he has to watch what's happening. And then
Well, he basically-
and goes, "Oh, they saw me," and let me
By
run
running,
right to
by running to it, he leads them to it.
Right.
And then he looks at it when he makes eye contact with the Shredder ninja.
Now, it's quickly alluded to that all these monks have cut out their own tongues so that they cannot reveal the location. That's how dire this is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And then there's one dumbass monk who's up on has to watch what's going on and gets spotted, and then runs right to the medallion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they deserve what they got.
He's not smart.
Right. Half your brain is in your tongue.
Sure.
Right.
Total.
What?
It's a fact.
I think that's lizards.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I don't know much
I don't
about the
know.
Chinese.
They get anyway. Shredder lady, who is his henchman, Slash or Whip or something.
Lang, Lamb, Luna.
Lash.
Lash.
I knew it was a
Oh, because
whip
of whip thing.
Yeah.
Get it?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, she's the Shredder ninja lady, and she's got the half of the medallion. It takes it back to Robert Patrick, and he's like, "Finally, I have the exposition medallion I've always wanted. 2 halves, both body and soul,
Yeah.
brought together." And oh fuck, there's only half of it here. What's going on here, guys?
No, wait.
Can we discuss Robert Patrick first?
I was going to say, because when he pops his head up on camera,
I almost choked on ice cream.
it is the best moment
That's
of the
not
film.
a euphemism.
No, I was
He was eating ice cream
Yeah.
and he choked. Yeah, Robert Patrick shows up with a bleached, most of it like a longer flat top,
Yeah.
bleached,
He's basically got Vanilla Ice's hair.
kind of.
Yeah.
At least
pretty
on the
much.
top.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like the crazy zigzags carved into the back of
No,
his head.
that would
He
be
should've.
insane.
But the top
would've ruled.
is that blonde pompadour type
Mhm.
thing.
He's got a well-groomed goatee
Black.
facial thing
Yeah.
going on.
It is in stark contrast to his blonde hair. It is very
Pat,
black.
stark contrast.
Eh?
And he's
Yeah.
got sweet shades.
Yes, which becomes a plot point for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, his appearance when you first see him, it's like, oh my god, Robert Patrick.
Yep.
You can't help but laugh.
No, that's your first instinct.
It's kind of like Dennis Hopper when he shows up in Super Mario Brothers, and he's got like the cornrow things. You're like, holy shit, why did they do that to him?
yeah.
How did he let them do that to him?
Well, that's Dennis Hopper. Robert
Yeah.
Patrick was just like,
Yeah, Robert
do
Patrick
whatever.
was like-
I'm in the movie
Yeah,
still, so
he's
I'm
like,
good.
I was in the Terminator,
Yeah,
the second one,
right.
the one everyone loves. Remember me?
They'll make more later that suck, but right now I'm king of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So bleach my hair.
But what I appreciate about him is much like in the Marine,
Yeah.
he's just like, I'm just going for it. I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna look like I'm having as much fun as I can possibly have making this movie.
Yeah, he doesn't play it like he's above it, which he could
Yeah.
easily do. He just, it's like, hey, they're paying me. I might as well have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in a crazy outfit and do whatever you want to do to my head, and I'm just gonna ham it up.
Yeah, and he does a lot with his facial expression throughout the course of this movie too. Which
He's very good with his eyebrows.
yeah,
Which actually becomes like a signature thing.
yes. Later in the movie,
Yeah.
it does. But
Yeah, so
yeah,
we're introduced to him. He's like, where's the other half? You idiots, get me the thing. And then cut to the thing, which is around the neck of a lady who's at a kicky punchy tournament.
Yes.
I
My
don't.
favorite.
an
Yeah.
underground
Yes.
Kiki Punchy tournament.
Right, well, they don't have legal ones now that the fall of LA has happened.
Yeah, of course.
Unsanctioned.
Mm-hmm.
Kicky punchy tournament.
Yeah. And so the Lee brothers are there.
Yeah.
Brothers, if you could see.
Mark Dacascos is Jimmy.
Yeah.
Scott Wolf is Billy.
Mm-hmm.
They are blood relatives
They look very much alike.
somehow.
They have the same father.
But it's
Who
quickly
knows?
established that as they're fighting, that Scott Wolf is the
worst.
hot-headed one
No, the worst.
who's not good at fighting and is also an asshole. Mark
you go.
Dacascos is the one who can beat the hell out of anybody, but apparently his brother will always get in the way and screw things up for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his brother is the Mark Dacascos character from Scorcher. He's that jerky, sarcastic,
Somewhat, yeah.
like, hey, look at me, I'm doing things, and, you know, it's like they're having this, like, tag team karate match or whatever, and Mark Dacascos gets in there and starts kicking the guy's ass, and then Scott Wolf's like, my turn, yoink, and then gets in there and just, like, Three Stooges the guy, just jumps on his back and starts giving him noogies, which the referee's like, no, against the rules, you're disqualified, the other guys win, and then Scott Wolf's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
What? I was having some fun. How dare you? And they lose.
And then started another fight after. Well, I mean, the guys come over and taunt them a little bit. They're
A
like,
little bit, but
next
instead of
time,
just
loser.
high-fiving him and saying good game, they fucking it's just Scott Wolf's just like, no, fuck you guys, and just starts throwing haymakers and roundhouse kicks, and Mark Dacascos is like, well, shit, okay, I guess I'm in
Donnybrook.
this.
Yeah, but this starts a karate brook. Because everybody
good.
swarms out of the stands.
Just popcorn goes flying in the air, and then everyone's just like, fuck yeah, let's all kick each other in the face.
Mhm.
And they get out.
Yep.
And they,
And they're riding in the car,
and they get in their family truckster.
Yeah, and none of it's particularly well filmed. Let's note this. I mean, and this looks very much like an early '90s. Hey, we're trying to do the future movie.
Yeah, it's like there were templates for that thing.
Yeah, like the lighting, you know exactly. Like you've seen Super Mario Brothers, you know exactly what this movie looks like.
There's a lot
Well, I
of-
think it started with like the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, I
It
was gonna
just-
say
it was
it's
just like,
that
a factory.
Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, just like bring them in next kids movie, sort of teenager
Yeah.
movie.
The Guyver had that exact
Yeah.
same look too.
Yeah.
Where it's like poorly lit, but spotlighting stuff and a lot of bright color. It looks horrible now. Like it's dated so poorly
yeah.
that it just drives me crazy to look at it.
That's what we're pros. That's what we had to do.
I know.
We looked at it.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't remember the '90s being like that. Even though they probably.
Oh, well, we're going to get to a
absolutely
scene
were.
later where I had a sudden realization about the 90s, and I was like, fuck the 90s.
All right.
Yes! But
Yeah.
anyway, like,
But yeah,
after the karate book, they're in the car, and they're talking, and they're like, oh, we could have really used that money. Oh, gee, punchy dialogue. Not.
Punchy.
And there's your 90s. But, and apparently they're riding in this futuristic station wagon that runs on garbage.
Yeah.
And there's a big fusion reactor thing in the middle and a giant fireball coming out of the back.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just throwing garbage in, and it looks like he's wiping his hands with a road map.
He was doing that for a long time.
Yeah, he was.
Like he just had the filthiest hands, and it was just like, and this car has like 12 road maps in it.
Yeah.
But
Well, there's a common theme that I noticed throughout the course of this movie is the director must have said, if you don't have a line or anything, you need to be doing something.
yeah,
Like,
Fidget.
just figure out what it is, but you need to be doing something.
look busy.
Yeah. Because you'll see guys in the background, like when there's fights, they'll just be throwing fake punches at nobody.
Yeah.
And like jumping around. And it's like, no, everyone else is fighting someone. You're just kind of dancing back
It kind of
there.
makes me. I mean, this is giving the movie way too much credit, but I'm wondering if, like, they were trying to capture that background and animation of a video game, like the guys at the back doing something while things are. I mean,
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a feeling that was not the directive at all. It was just like make it busy because kids like swirly, crazy colors and things moving all the time.
Yeah, but for this one, I don't know because they commit to this video game that doesn't service the story at all.
Well, the sad thing is like this video game could make a pretty kick-ass movie. I mean, the basic plot.
It's basically the Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this idea, like, okay, they actually came up with a good enough plot of this curfew thing, which I don't think was ever established. I mean, the fiction of Double Dragon is very
It's
liberal.
It's a
There's
long
not
and
much
storied
there.
history there.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to it, but
Wasn't it just there on the street?
They're basically roaming
Guy
the street.
comes out, punches, and stomach
punches the
takes girl.
girlfriend.
takes her own.
Yeah.
Yeah, steal
Yeah.
the girl. But I'm just saying, this setup is actually pretty fascinating. I mean, like, we're outside, it's after curfew, and have them steal the girl and go fight through gangs. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
This was exactly my thought. Was it's like they had the template pretty easily. Like they had the very base framework to go from, and it's just like Super Mario Brothers, where they're just like, no, we need to make up all this other stuff to
Yeah.
get in the way of what could be fun.
Well, they RoboCop it is what they do. They try to establish their own universe by stealing RoboCop's universe by doing the sarcastic newscasts and
Yeah.
the wacky commercials and
basically, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because that's George Hamilton and Vanna White are the newscasters
as themselves.
saying like how the most tragic story they have is Madonna breaking up with
Tom Arnold
Tom Arnold
Yeah.
and
from
it's-
True Lies.
and moving to
Yeah.
France.
And like Andy Dick telling them that there's gonna be acid rain today, so
He's the weatherman.
yeah, stay inside. It's
But they're in this car, they're riding along, and they're like, "Hey, you know, it's after curfew. Oh, great, we're gonna get gang mutilated."
No, I think she actually says we're going to get gang raped.
Did they? I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't
no,
care,
no.
but-
Yeah, they said either gang banged or gang raped, and I'm pretty sure it's gang raped.
Yeah,
Really?
because it was very nonchalant. Because it hit me like
that's a stretch.
Really?
I mean, anyway, but
PG-13, man. You
Yeah.
can say a lot in
Mm.
PG-13. movie.
They're out and they're getting panicky, and then what do you know? There's a car stopped on the side of the road, and they're like, "Hey, lady, let's help her," and it's a trap. I mean, they pull over, and it's a guy in a wig.
Literally.
Well, it's
Yeah.
It's Scott Wolf going, "Shoo, she's my type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, stop the car. Let me get out."
And the guy just takes off
Yeah.
his wig, and it's like, I'm a dude. And he's like,
Yeah.
and Mark DeCasco's like, he is your type. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, we're not in danger.
And then we're surrounded by punks.
Yeah.
'Cause-
And giant semi thing pulls up behind them, and
Yeah. And the guy that gets out is Adobo
Mhm.
or a Bobo. What
A
is,
Bobo.
is it? A Bobo.
A bow, doe. Doe.
Either one. But yeah, he's got the mohawk, and he's like, "Hey, you got to pay $50 to get by." And
rather than
They're
just
like-
going here, $50.
they didn't have any money
It's in his other
because they
pants.
lost the tournament.
Right. They
Yeah.
lost.
But then he looks at the girl in the back seat who has the double dragon necklace on.
Yeah.
And
The most important thing
most
in the
important
universe.
thing in the universe, and she just lets him grab it and go, "Oh, this is pretty. I'll take this."
Shiny.
Yeah.
She also just has it like
Out.
just hanging out.
Dangling
Like
out.
earlier, she had actually tucked it in her shirt,
Yeah.
like a somewhat smart person would do. But
No.
not today.
How about a safety deposit box?
Yeah, she
the very
fidgets
least.
with it a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or maybe, I don't know, take it to the Midwest.
Take it out of
Yeah.
New
Out of
Angeles.
gangland.
How about rent
Yeah.
a boat and throw it in the Marianas Trench?
Okay.
Well,
Nobody needs it, apparently. It's just keep it apart.
Yeah, just keep it away from the bad
everything.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are ways to make things disappear.
Right.
Shoot
That's
one
the other
into
thing.
space.
Not by displaying it when you're out after curfew.
The other thing is, like, we find out that they both have magic power, obviously, and she never uses that.
Nope.
Never even
Does she know
tells
how to
them
use
that
it?
it does it.
She was told not to.
Well, the half they have seems kind of worthless.
no, it
Compared-
makes you pretty much
com-
invincible.
Well, comparatively speaking, the other one can make you. We'll get to it, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it seems kind of dumb
Sure.
just
It does.
by comparison.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens
either way,
here is a
The
Bobo.
guy touches it,
And she's like,
She-
"No way."
Yeah.
Yeah.
stabs him in the hand,
Right.
and they take off.
Yes. And then it's car chase time.
Car chase while they're throwing garbage into the incinerator thing, and
Mm-hmm.
eventually he gets to a can of Easy Cheese, and he's like, reading it, it's like, "Do not ever combust," and so he's like,
I'll
screw
put that
it,
in
whatever.
there. Yeah.
And yeah, they rocket down the street, and the bad guys, oh god, they have this like video game tracking system thing where suddenly like they're playing Spy Hunter in really really shitty graphics, which don't make any sense because like video games even look better than this by this point
There's
in
no
time.
real good way to explain it other than it's just
It's garbage.
garbage.
Yeah,
Well,
lots of yelling and
GPS designers living in New Angeles were probably didn't have a lot of time to write their code.
was it supposed to be a GPS? I don't.
I'm just-
whatever.
Well, he pulls it. It's like it flips out and has a joystick. That
Yeah.
Apparently, he's not driving anymore. He's just
Well, what happened? Scott Wolf pulls one of the thousands of maps that's in the car out and throws it out of the window, and it lands on front of the driver's side window of the bad guy's car. And instead of just reaching his hand out the window, pulling the map off the window, and throwing it, it's the
Engage
first
the
of many two characters looking at each other, screaming, and then looking back at us, and then they engage the supercomputer and drive via that, which makes them considerably worse at driving.
Yeah, basically, it's just like they think they lose them. They're like, yelly, yelly, we found them again. And they go down an alley, which ends, and then the bad guys follow them down there, but their vehicle is larger, so it gets lodged in the alley. And again, they're like, we win, hooray!
But is this the first instance of look at each other and scream?
oh, yeah,
The
well,
bad guys did it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the good guys did it too when they realized the alley was ending.
Right.
Yeah.
The bad guys did it first when the map landed on the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the good guys did it when they were driving down the alley and realized they had no outlet.
Right. So they stop, get out, and they taunt the truck that is now, crammed its way into the alley. And
Yeah.
and
Well,
of course, the
it's-
guy busts out, and he's like, "Rah, I'm big, and I'm going to be evil." And
That's pretty much exactly what he does, except with less words. He just rawr.
yeah, while they're being jokey, instead of running or doing anything else,
They're okay
just stand
because
there.
the Lost Boys are there waiting for them.
Well, sure, yeah. Neon Lost Boys come rappelling down the building. Some of them come rappelling down the building. Some of them have urban camouflage of the graffiti that they're standing in front of is on the back of their clothes, and they turn around and there's Alyssa Milano and about 3 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they turn around and we're like, we're the power company, the power team.
Power
Power Core.
Power Core.
Power core.
Yeah, we're the Power Core, and we're here to rescue you. And Boba was like, "Oh, Boba no like, Boba leave," because he just kind of runs off like scared. And
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're like, we'll get you, and you're.
And she
henchman.
grabs his little
Your little
GPS
Mohawk, too.
thing, and that kind of becomes
Gang net.
Yeah, gang net. That's right.
Clever days.
Gang Nut style.
A real discreet program.
I'm sorry.
Gangnet.
Yeah, but that kind of becomes they act like it's going to be a plot point, but literally goes nowhere.
Nope.
With it becomes a throwaway line later.
Yeah.
For how they're going to solve things.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't matter.
But she's like, oh, we got our hands on Gangnet now. Now we're going to know where all the gangs are, and we can stop them.
Yeah.
But once you see their lair, you realize, Jesus, these people are fucking useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just kind of
part ways at this
Yeah.
point. They're
Well,
like, well,
she's
he's
like, join us.
well, Scott Wolf's like a lady.
Yeah.
Again, except actual lady.
Right. She's my type. Now that I can tell it's a lady, I can safely say. But yeah, Scott Wolf was like, come on, let's join them. Look,
Yeah,
they got
they're-
jackets, and it's great.
Yeah.
And Mark Dacascos was like, no, they're dangerous. We can't stay here.
They're really dangerous.
Scary dangerous.
Yeah.
They're terrorists.
Sure. Yeah. And then cut to next morning at Alyssa Milano's house. Her dad is the sheriff of the town or police commissioner or something,
captain,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Head police guy.
Uh-huh.
She has to wear a wig at home because
She can't have that haircut at home.
she can't have short cropped blonde pixie haircut. No.
No.
Not
Otherwise,
in my house, damn it.
No. Them's
Not
the rules.
easy to manage, quick to wash, no blow dry hair. Alyssa Milano, damn it.
Only
I'm
gang
jealous.
members. You thought this through.
This hair. But yeah,
You do have a delightful pixie
yeah.
cut.
But yeah, she's putting on a wig to go out and argue with her dad about
Yeah.
how the Power Corps are not terrorists because he's watching some news program about how they
Where a
took down
plane
a plane.
exploded. And George Hamilton's like, sounds like the Power Corps. And he's like, damn right it does. And she's like, now, Dad, Power Corps does good for stuff and
They're
things.
doing things at night where you don't do anything, and
He's like, why don't you become a cop if you're so concerned? I'm not eating your breakfast.
yeah, basically,
Puts on his clip-on tie and goes to
it's,
work.
it's that stupid movie thing of I have a secret identity and I'm going to argue so that someone goes, well, are you one of them?
Yeah.
but no one ever does.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Things happen. I think it goes to a training montage back at the warehouse where they're
Kinda.
flipping each other around in this
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, they go back to their theater house hangout place
Yeah,
where they're living and eating
the
popcorn
brothers, not,
and
not
red vines.
we're done with Alyssa Milano for a while.
No.
Yeah. Well, they also go back to Robert Patrick's high-rise office where Bobo comes back and he tells him, he goes, you had it in your hand and you let it go, and he's all ticked. And so he says, well, I got something for you and I'm gonna run experiments or something. And so they take him down to the basement where they show him a machine and he immediately screams and they zoom in on his face.
And
But
then,
is this also where they establish that he doesn't like the lights being turned on?
yeah, because he's giving like a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
And then Lash turns the lights on. He's like, damn it, let me put my shades on first.
Mm-hmm.
Then he puts his shades on and he's just like, now then.
Yeah. At some point,
But he
he's,
actually does put them on. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
he's also actually he's established what his half of the medallion does, which he's got the soul half, which allows you to turn into a
paper.
weird Tron-y shadow thing.
You turn two-dimensional and become a shadow.
Yeah.
We turn
you
into a
can-
flat piece of black
Yeah.
and white
You
paper.
become a cartoon that's been run over by a steamroller,
Right.
so you
Yeah.
can go under doors and stuff.
And you can absorb yourself into somebody.
yeah.
And then you can find that pesky rabbit.
You become an awesome early 90s CG effect.
Right.
Mhm. Some of them are okay.
Eh.
Some of the turn into paper, fold over while smoke still exists where he was smoking
Mhm.
was okay, but
Anyway, but they established what his half of it does, which
Yeah.
is pretty fucking cool. I
Yeah.
mean, he can shadow man his way anywhere and take over someone's body. It kind of makes the other half of the medallion really kind of worthless, but we'll get to it.
yeah.
Mm.
But she tells, like, they go to, they cut to the theater where they're hanging out, and she tells them the story.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I should tell you about this medallion that got your father killed, and
Almost got us killed.
yeah, and blah, blah, blah. Here, Scott Wolf, hang on to the medallion. Now, of all the people in the room qualified to hang on to this thing, the least qualified person is Scott Wolf because he's terrible.
Do you remember American Samurai?
Yes.
Do you remember when Mark Dacascos was not given his birthright,
Uh-huh.
and then he freaked out, kind of over-freaked out, and went a
little.
little evil? This was the time to freak out! And be
Yeah.
like, that fuckwad is not carrying the medallion!
Yeah. He should have
Agreed.
That's mine. That is my birthright, and I'm better than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no.
We should somehow make a supercut of the two movies.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Mark Dacascos is clearly the better brother,
In
but the
every
movie
way.
keeps attempting to establish Scott Wolf as like the hero of the movie. Like, they very much, it feels like they're trying to push him.
Hey, I'll give you a
And
secret.
Mark Dacascos is the sidekick.
He's
And
white.
I know.
Yeah.
But it drives me crazy to watch
well,
it
yes.
because they're like they give him no redeeming qualities,
I know.
No.
He's an antagonist in the
Yeah.
worst way.
and Mark Dacascos is just the one cleaning up his messes the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
basically.
They even have a fight about this later.
He's even established as the younger brother. Like, there's literally no reason. Like, it's not age. It's nothing.
Nothing. It's your hot-headed idiot who just does his own thing, and it's always the wrong thing. Here, this is the most important thing in the world. You hang on to it.
Yeah,
Right.
why don't you keep it for a while?
Because they're hanging out, like, just talking to each
Well,
other.
they're practicing this spin each other around
Right.
kick thing, and of course, Scott Wolf fucks up his half because why not?
It's martial arts, not martial science. Meh. And like Robert Patrick, they've done some city scan and they know exactly where they live, and they just come to the door, and she answers, and she's like, "Well," and he's like,
You.
"Give me the medallion," and he's like, "She's all, you're never gonna find it. It's safe." And then like as soon as she says it, Scott Wolf, wearing the big giant shiny medallion, pops up, is like, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And Robert Patrick's like, yoink, trying to take it.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know how that didn't work out, but it just becomes stunt spectacular.
Yeah, they're running up netting to get to the upper level, and
To be fair,
they're
there's
getting chased
actually-
by Al Leong and his other guy.
There's some pretty good fights in this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
There is
absolutely.
an awesome fight where basically Mark Dacascos scores off with Al Leong, and he's got a broom, and he like sweeps it under him and then yanks it back.
He
and,
sweeps the legs.
Yeah, sweeps the legs, but like from between the legs, but then it breaks the top off, so now he's just got a staff.
That fight started with Mark Dacascos getting hit in the face with a bowling pin.
Yes,
Just full in the
Straight
face,
up.
just bong.
bludgeoned with a bowling pin.
Would you say that he got striked?
Struck. He's struck. Yeah, but that actually
Spare
leads
me.
to this was like
All right, I'm going to split.
I hate you all.
Bunch of turkeys.
Sorry, my mind's in the gutter.
Are you done?
Pretty much, yeah. I think so.
You run out of bowling
No.
euphemisms.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm going to be done.
All right.
Those were all over the line.
There's rules to this podcast, you guys. This isn't
Ah. Yeah. So anyway, yes, he gets hit with a bowling pin, and this leads to an actual fight
Yes.
between two guys who actually know what they're doing.
Yes. And the movie
That
treats it
feels like it's filmed by somebody else because it actually looks good.
yeah.
However, that's short-lived.
The movie treats it like it's not important. Like, yeah, they're having a kick-ass fight. Let's see what's going on over here.
Well, because the other part of it that doesn't make sense is they're chasing both brothers,
Yeah.
and you don't
Despite
have
knowing
to.
which one has.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's big and shiny and around his neck. And it's Scott Wolf.
Right.
Get him. You don't have to get Mark Dacascos.
No,
he's
he's
useless
fine.
to this.
And meanwhile, what is her name?
Lash.
No, not Lash.
Their fairy
Lady.
their
godmother.
benefactor lady.
Um,
We weren't sure.
Kira
we weren't sure who
Story?
the heck
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah.
You know, she's like she seems like she's close to their age. Like we
They-
knew she wasn't their
Satori.
mother.
But they stuck like really obviously fake gray strands in her hair to make
Yeah.
her look older. But
Right.
I
But
don't
she
think
looks
she was
20.
supposed to be your mother though, because
Guardian.
They never said mother.
No. She was
Guardian.
the father's assistant, which is probably where Mark Dacascos came from. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah. But so she's fighting Robert Patrick, and he's just kind of laughing at her.
Mm-hmm.
Though she's getting some good hits in on him.
Yeah.
But it's very much like, all right, you stand there, and she's going to do a spin kick on you, and that's the only take we're going to use from that. And then we'll do another take from over here, maybe, and
Well, she kicks him through like a terrible, not terrible, but a tearaway paper backdrop thing. And then there's another side of it, which he then bursts through, like, aha!
Yeah.
That did no
Face
damage
first.
to me. It's like, dude's having a lot of fun with this
Yeah,
movie.
he really is.
But after all this random violence happens and running around this place, just kind of being like, look at this set we sort of built / decorated.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, all right, this shit's over. Bring in the henchmen. They're going to pour the place full of gasoline because they.
Well, before they do that,
he takes over her body, the Satori's body.
Yeah.
Well, before that,
okay,
is when Adobo shows
yeah,
back
that's right.
up,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
and
He looks like the Michelin Man.
yeah,
Like
fleshy Michelin Man.
Like a toxic waste. Like if the dude at the end of RoboCop had a baby with the Michelin Man.
He's basically what happens when the Garbage Pail Kids grow up.
Yes.
Yeah. Which would be fun.
No, no, I really wouldn't.
and it's just
It's goofy.
it looks so terrible. Like, I know that they needed the guy to have mobility,
Yeah.
but it just looks goofy.
He
Like,
looks
it doesn't
inflated.
look threatening in any way. It just looks goofy and gross.
They
More
could have
than
just saved
anything.
Michael Berryman for this point.
They could have, but they've got this guy in this like inflatable suit, and he even makes it seem like moving around is a struggle. He doesn't make it seem like he's a
threat.
badass. He's just like, rah, and I can't get through this door, and that's an obstacle in my way, and I'm slow. And
They do more screaming than ever fighting with this guy.
Yeah.
It's like they just see him and scream and run around and scream some more.
Yeah.
Until eventually, like, they just kind of kick him off the stage.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Essentially.
he falls in the netting.
right.
Yeah. And they're bad jokes here and there.
Oh, there's some good
All
bad
right.
jokes in here.
Oh.
Like they trap Al Young's ponytail in a briefcase or in a suitcase, and Scott Wolf's like, "What a head case!" Like immediately, just boom, just right with the joke.
He was not clever enough for that.
And when they hit the dude in the net, he's like, nothing but net."
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Terrible jokes.
Anyway,
Yes. That was a thing that was said in a movie we
Yep.
watched.
well, so Robert Patrick uses his soul glow and takes over Satori's body and like comes to them and they're like, "Quick, give me the medallion. Let's get out of here." And they're like, "Wait, what?" And anyway, they discover his ruse very quickly.
Yeah.
So they throw her in like the wardrobe cage or something, the prop cage or something like that, and lock it in there, and lock her in there. And then they're like, "Okay, henchmen, bring in the fire." So they start dousing the place in gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, in the fight, the gas main got. They were throwing bricks at a Bobo, and they hit the gas line, so it's been slowly leaking gas. And they're like, "All right, give us the medallion, or roast."
Right.
But they watch like this entire process, going, "Huh?
Yeah.
Should we do anything?
Yeah.
Huh?"
We could
Yeah,
let her out.
Let's not let her out. Let's
Nah.
just watch Robert Patrick, who
Until
turned
he-
into a shadow, floated up the wall, and then was sitting on the upper deck.
Well, as he did
Give him
that,
an upper decker.
his ghost went by a piano and it hit the keys and it went by.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good. I
Okay,
like that.
so I'm trying to understand the rules of his soul glow here because
Okay.
like he
No
can
rules,
he can
just right.
interact with real life objects while he's in shadow form.
Yes.
He can
Sort
take
of.
over someone's body.
Yes.
Why ever not be in shadow form?
It probably uses a lot of energy.
Whose? His?
Yes.
Maybe he just really liked being Robert Patrick.
Well,
Yeah. You got Robert
Point,
Patrick
yes.
in your movie. You might as well
Yeah.
have him be full.
I'm just
3D
pointing out
Robert
all of
Patrick.
the awesome powers that his half of the medallion does, so that when
Yeah.
we get to what the other half does, it'll be
pretty
like,
good.
that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, eventually they're like, "Oh, let's start kicking the door and try to get her out," which they do. And she's like, "All right, let's run out the back," and throws them out the back and stays behind to delay Robert Patrick, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
Well, that's the idea.
to just die stupidly.
Yes,
Sure.
that
Yet
too.
another pet peeve of mine.
That too.
She could have gotten out.
She could have.
Easily. Because her staying there did literally nothing.
No.
Except let her die.
Yeah,
Because they all get out.
because I mean, he comes over and like just punches the shit out of her, and
Yeah.
she just slumps over and is done.
Mm-hmm.
And like done enough to just watch.
And meanwhile, the
fire
two
fall.
of them, knowing that the place is going to blow up, are just standing there pounding on the door.
Right.
Until finally, Mark Dacascos is like, "We got to go,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they run and do the movie dive over a car, hit a
Granted,
platform springboard thing.
They blow this theater the hell up.
yeah,
Yeah. Good splintery
And they air
explosion.
ram toss these guys over a car.
Yeah.
It looked like it was actually them.
Yeah, they fly over, like they fly at the camera over a car with the explosion going behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit that looked kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm always a fan of a dude getting ear rammed somewhere.
I've heard that about you.
Yeah. If you got a dude getting air rammed, I want to see it happen.
There are some pretty good stunts in this movie. I'll give you that.
That's
Yeah, but again, immediately Scott Wolf is like, you gotta go get her back, and he's like, dude,
the building blew up, and she was in the building, and she has no special powers.
yeah. So then they go hang out by the river and sulk for a little bit. Well, okay, Scott Wolf sulks some more by the river.
Yeah.
And he's
Well,
like,
Mark Dacascos tries to fix the
Yeah,
car.
well, and what Mark Dacascos says, we need a plan.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have a plan. Like, things are bad. We need a plan. And Scott Wolf is me like, no, a plan? What's wrong with you? Why do you always do this? Why do you always do this? A plan. And he's like, yeah, a plan so we don't get killed.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, by Ghost Dad. Over
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
Float around all over the place. Yeah.
But Scott Wolf wants none of it. And Mark Dacascos basically has to talk him off the ledge by being like, here's what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get the thing back, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna get the thing
I don't really have a plan.
and do what she
It
says.
just sounded good to say that we need to make a plan.
So let's go do that.
I would like to point out that he was fixing the car that was destroyed by the Easy Cheese from
Yeah.
earlier.
because he rips out a component of the car and it's just like it's cheese all over it.
Yeah, he's like grilled carburetor cheese thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
I think we've been talking for over half an hour, and we're basically only out of the first act.
There's a
This is
lot
not
of
good.
detail in this movie.
This is not good.
Yeah. Well, like real quick, there's a scene where Michael Berryman, BMFcast own, is the leader of all the gangs, all the themed gangs of New Angeles, and they're in like a Thunderdome. And Robert Patrick comes in.
Well, because he's like, who's this guy who's trying to take over the gangs?
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
Yeah, and
Or
everyone's
what
like,
segment?
"Yeah, we're behind you, Michael Berryman." And then,
Who's trying to unite the gangs?
yeah,
That we don't like that.
Grrr.
Listen to me. Ah!
Yeah, exactly. You all listen to me. No one's gonna unite us. Yeah. So, like,
It's a meeting of the anarchists.
Robert Patrick comes in. He's like, "Hey, sup, bitches?" Turns into a shadow, kills Michael Berryman in shadow form, like strangles his shadow,
It's pretty cool. Yes.
and then like just stands up, like turns back into Robert Patrick and stands up and puts his arms up, and everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, we follow you now!" And then, man, they turn on wind machines and start blowing music video smoke in the room, and Robert Patrick is just standing there like, you know, Michael Jackson in one of those videos where he's just standing in front of a wind. Yes, just jacket and hair and everything just flowing, and so he united the gangs.
Yep, he did.
Yeah.
He now has them at his disposal.
Yes.
Yeah, so... Okay, after they were sulking by the river, they're like, oh, let's go walk. We'll be safe. It's daylight. Well, let's go find the police.
They walk
and
into...
of course, Scott Wolf's like, oh, yeah, the police are going to believe us when we tell them we have a magic medallion and he can turn into a ghost guy and things. Yeah, right. They'll just send out a black and white. No big deal, right? Yeah. I'm not being helpful. I'm just the internet right now.
Like, stop naysaying. You're always naysaying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they're just like, well, we'll figure it out. Oh, shit. There's 50 gang members here. We've
Yeah.
walked
And
right
they're like,
into the middle of a gang.
Guys, it's like 4 in the afternoon. They're like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah. And then they just get attacked by mimes and AC/DC and mailmen.
Yeah, there's lots of jumping and flailing and gnashing of teeth. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's an
These things
excuse
are
to let
happening.
Mark Dacascos do some flips off of things.
Mm-hmm. Sweet flips.
Yeah, which look pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah,
they get
I like
attacked
flips.
by a mailman who falls about 50, 60 feet
Yeah.
into a pile of mud.
Attacked.
Well, he's like, airmail special!
Basically does a belly flop.
He jumps off
Onto
of a building
solid
at
ground.
them.
And they're just like, well, let's get out of the way of that.
Never saw a mailman move that fast. Zing.
Whoa.
Jokes.
Anyway, it all culminates, like, they're running around, and all the different stupid pseudo-warriors guys are running around after them. And they get in this boathouse, and Scott Wolf sees this futuristic, badass motorcycle, and he's like, I can start it! Ha ha! Kick, and it just, like, comically falls apart.
Yeah. Because, you know, that's a feature on motorcycles.
I've seen it happen.
But yeah, so
But then they're like, what's over here? And it's like,
yeah, they explode out of the back of the boathouse. In well, it's not really even a boat. It's like someone built a boat frame around a jet.
It's like a boat ski.
Basically,
yeah, it's
yeah.
a boat ski.
Jet
Yeah,
boat,
boat ski.
something like that.
hey.
Boat ski.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Peter Boat Ski.
So they have a boat chase. Not with a boat. but
Yeah.
Yeah, like their boat, and then there's jet skis are chasing them, and like things are getting lit on fire in the water.
The whole water is flammable.
Yeah.
They've established this.
because like they have like the two bad guy jet skis have what appear to be guns mounted on the front of them, but what it turns out to be is a rocket launcher.
Which is almost just as good.
Yeah, and they shoot one rocket and they hit like a refinery or something, and holy God, that thing goes up.
I think it hit the water, and that like the water
Ignited barrels,
Yeah.
which then
And
hit
then-
this
yes.
thing. But
and then
Jesus
half of
God.
New Angeles blew up.
yeah, I mean, and they were prepared for this because they had like 10 cameras running on this. Because
Oh yeah, and wow, what a massive explosion! Like,
how
like-
is that not the finale of your movie?
I don't know.
It's a screen filler.
It's
Yeah.
almost
And
more
then
than that.
some.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, but it's like it's meaningless. Like no one was there, no one was going towards it. It's just a thing that happens. And then what happens is they crash into a sign because like the river is up, is raised like highways. They're going down like Hollywood and Vine and shit. And there's all these really bad matte paintings and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Capitol Records building is in shambles in the background, but they hit this like highway overhang, and that fucking explodes like when they hit it. Like our heroes hit the sign, it engulfs in flames, and we're like, well,
That was
quick.
anticlimactic.
that was a strange ending to this movie.
Yeah.
But
Then they just show up in the water.
they
going,
pop up like, don't drink the
"Man,
water.
Yeah, this water tastes gross.
Yeah. And it's like, well,
Ugh.
should we get out? Nah, let's just keep dog paddling right here until we finish all our
Let's have a
dialogue.
conversation here.
Yeah.
In this shit water.
Keep getting the water in our mouths as we talk.
Yeah. So I think
And
they're kind of desperate at this point. So they're like, let's go find Alyssa Milano, right?
Yeah, they decide that, but
Yep.
the scene happens where after the boats explode and they cut back to Robert Patrick in the office going, they go, we dredged the river, we just couldn't find the medallion, we don't know where it is. And he's like, I just want to be the total dominator of just one city.
Yeah.
Just one. Is that too much to ask?
It's that so wrong.
Just the ultimate ruler of one large
Yeah,
American
one-
city is really that so bad.
Yeah, you heard it. Okay, it is in the quotes, thank God.
Oh, okay,
It
good.
says, I just want total domination of one major American city. Is that too much to ask? Is it? Is it? Huh?
Yes.
And that was the point where I was just like, there is a much better movie hiding somewhere in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that's, I think what's most frustrating about this is like, there's always these little bits of like, okay, somebody actually like snuck something good through what was clearly just
Well, there were 4 credited writers, which means that probably this started out not super smart, but probably someone had a good take on it, and the studio was like, we can't sell that to kids.
Yeah, and
Dumb
got
that shit
whittled
down. Yeah.
and then there's like the 2 or 3 lines that
Yeah.
made their way.
But
for
like the
each
Robert
draft.
Patrick scenes, they were probably like, no time to rewrite those. Just rewrite the gumballs on the floor and
Yeah.
basketball, skateboarding, and all that shit.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, they're desperate now. They're without a boat, without a car. So they stumble over to find Alyssa Milano. I don't know how they know where their hideout is,
They just know.
but their hideout is
The
basically
mall.
it's basically like the super bright version of the Foot Gang's hangout in the first Ninja Turtles movie. It's like if you just turn on all the lights, they've got the skateboard ramps and video games, and everyone's like, yeah, partying, and everything's happening, techno music, and this is awesome. And
Keep in mind the
we're
world
terrorists.
thinks these people are terrorists, and the first thing you see are people hula hooping
Yep.
yeah.
while shitty 90s music is playing, and people are just rollerblading around.
Hey,
And
hula hooping is not a crime.
some
First time
religions.
It is if you're doing it on the sidewalk where it's posted no hooping.
No,
No hooping.
No hooping.
No hoops.
no Hooper.
it's a
Yeah, but
hoopty.
it kind of it reminds me somewhat of the club in Hackers, where it's just like, man,
That's-
I wish
yeah, same
these
thing.
things actually existed like old people thought they did in the 90s.
Yeah, writers in the 90s had no idea what was going on in the
Oh,
real world,
they
or what
didn't.
kids were doing, or where they were going, or what they were doing.
But yeah, if that had existed when I was like 15, I'd be like, this is the best place on the planet.
Yeah.
But sadly, those things never existed anywhere
I was-
except in movies.
I was
ever.
somewhere kind of like this, but not like this. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a place where all this craziness was happening at one place, but it wasn't like it's
It
not like
wasn't as well organized
No.
as
Yeah,
the power
no.
core.
yeah,
is.
it's not like
There wasn't
it's
a
not
little
like all these
beach
things-
area. And
Yes, no, there was never like a little beach area or like the places where you skateboarded or rollerbladed were like this area, not like people are just like, you walk into the club and you had to go through the rollerbladers that were going in the half pipe.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah,
But she's force feeding a Bobo to the Bobo some like spinach and trying to get him to tell what the plan was and where the
where are they?
machine was and all that stuff.
Where's the
How to get
headquarters of the most richest man in the city?
How to get
Yeah.
burned?
Where's his giant skyscraper that they're putting his fucking logo
I also like
on?
that this is very much old people write for kids, because it's like, how is spinach going through a tube? Like, I don't know if you're aware, but spinach it's solid.
Dense, yeah.
It's a leafy substance.
Yeah.
It doesn't go into a funnel, and then
But hey, it lets him make a fart noise.
Yep.
sure,
And that's the torture, is he has gas now.
yeah,
And then she's like, take him away, and they lock him up.
give him radishes or something. Whatever.
I don't know.
Well, whatever.
Bobos like radishes.
Yeah. But so they basically, she's like, all right, we'll help you. It's basically the gist of it. They
Yeah.
get there, and
More or less.
they try and figure out how the little medallion works, and they think that, oh, we both have to touch it. We both at the same time.
Have to just give it a little rub.
Yeah, just
The movie it's a little weird at that point. They sort of lock eyes with each other, start rubbing this
You
thing.
start hearing.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh God, we're doing it!" And then like
nope. It's one of those guys with a big tube just spinning around like a
Did those things
Like a
ever have a
whip.
name? Anyone?
I don't know.
whistle tubes.
Yeah.
Whistle tube. I like
They
that.
go woo woo.
That's
they
only
were
in the
bubble
morning.
wraps.
That's only in the morning. Chuck.
Supposed to be up cooking breakfast.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just look defeated at that point. They're like, "Ah, what the fuck ever. This thing's dumb."
Yeah.
Is that when it?
So
so
they organize a break into the guy's office, because apparently they did know where it was, or Bobo told him after farting. I don't know, or they figured out what the fuck a phone book is. I don't. Any of these things happen, but
Yeah.
this is the point in the movie where I was like, just fuck the '90s, just because these terrorist kids or whatever come skateboarding in and running all over the place and amongst business people, and just fuck the '90s. Like, seriously, like. There was nothing to rebel against in the 90s. The 90s were fucking awesome. There was almost nothing bad going on in the 90s.
yeah. The
And-
worst thing in the world
economy
was
awesome.
the worst thing in the world was that our president got a blowjob.
Yeah.
And people were all up in arms. It's like, God damn it, fuck America. I'm going to
Yeah.
rollerblade. Fuck that guy.
I'm just saying, like, there's
it was
nothing.
great.
Yeah, it
The
was.
economy ruled.
Yeah, we all had jobs and
Yeah,
shit.
baseball players were all on the juice and nobody cared.
Nobody cared. Hit that
was
fucking
great.
ball.
You had Michael
Make it
Jordan.
go 700 yards. Go!
Everything was great.
Oh man,
People
Michael Jordan.
rollerbladed.
Yeah.
People rollerbladed.
Yeah.
And nobody made fun of them.
No.
They were just like, that dude's rollerblading. That's awesome.
Why would you put the wheels in a road? That's stupid. But fuck yeah, guys.
People
go.
rollerblading were actually cool.
Yeah. It was like, I wish I was that guy. I wish I could afford rollerblades.
I'm just saying, the counterculture from a time when everything was awesome
Yeah.
can fuck right off. The culture was awesome. That's what's happened, is like, if you realize, like, all the things were like, fuck yeah, 90s is like, it's the popular things, because we're like, fuck yeah, the times were kind of good back then.
Yeah.
You know what? This is some bare naked ladies. Maybe they'll be good again. Yeah.
That's what we need, Canadians.
Indeed.
Bring back the Counting Crows. Fucking stock market through the roof.
Man, I hope you guys are writing this down. This is a platform to run on.
Yeah, we know how to fix the economy, guys.
I will bring back
We can
Counting
fix
Crows.
everything.
In 2016, I promised to bring back rollerblading, the Counting Crows.
And also, I like sex and candy.
Fuck yeah!
And the economy.
You don't have to go home, but you can stay here.
So anyway, yeah, Double Dragon.
Yeah.
That's Double Dragon.
So yeah, they break in, and why the fuck do they break in?
Because
They want to get the other half of the
they think
medallion.
they're going to be able to steal the other. So somehow they make their way all the way up to the 2000th floor of his skyscraper.
Like crawling through
and
the
are
vents.
above his office.
Yeah.
Like above the medallion sitting on the table.
Well,
Well,
all the while they're staring at Alyssa Milano's ass and
Well.
booty.
Yes.
Well, yes, I agree, Chuck.
The
but-
movie puts it on display. Like, look at what
well,
they're
they
looking
both
at.
look at it and they're like, "Dad ass."
Yeah.
yeah,
And they both look at each other and nod.
And they
as she
fight
crawls
for the
into
right to be
grave.
the first one to follow
party.
dad ass through dat vent.
Yes, all the above.
Okay.
So yeah,
all the services, like, they trying to MacGyver this thing where they're trying to fishhook the medallion out, and they're doing this right in front of them. Like, they don't wait for them to leave the room. I don't know why they're on a ticking clock here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, just wait till they leave the room.
They have all forever. Just
Yeah.
hang up in the vents.
You want to
But
know why?
no.
Because it's Scott Wolf's idea.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's why.
But yes, they're literally dangling it in front of the lady.
It's in front of Lash, who's looking at it like a kitten with it dangling a string in front. She's just like, look at that, shiny.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Robert Patrick is trying to make a deal with Alyssa Milano's dad, who is the police chief.
Yeah. Like, hey, we'll own the night, and the cops can own the day, and that's that. And the cop's like, nah, my job is to protect everybody all the
I don't take
time.
bribes.
Grr. And like Lash eventually is like, I'm gonna just subtly take care of this problem by going to get this giant stick with a blade at the end of it and start stabbing the ceiling.
Did we ever decide what that thing was called?
It's got a bunch of
Never
names.
looked it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Each one is different and has a different name.
Yes.
Stick with a blade at the end.
Stick
Yeah.
sword.
But yeah, so she just starts stabbing
Stabby
the
stick.
vent,
Yep.
and they're all like, "Retreat, retreat!"
And then they fall through the grate.
Well, yeah, because apparently she slashed it enough times that they're just like, "Wah-ha,"
Yeah.
comically.
And then Robert Patrick's like, get them.
Yeah, more.
And he's meanwhile he's grabbed the medallion back.
Sure.
Of course.
Because he has to turn into paper
Yeah.
again.
And so the police chief dad has to fight Lash for
That
a while.
is just, whoever said that was a good idea was wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's just awkward and, like, who cares?
Like I said, all this is a completely worthless scene because he gets the medallion back. Nothing really changes.
No, they just slide down the elevator
Except the
shaft.
fact that like he uses, we think maybe he's crushed Mark Dacascos or somebody did
Yeah,
because they go down in this morgue or this experiment room or whatever.
Well, wait,
and
he-
he's possessing the zombie bodies that he has down his
Right,
ear.
but like they get down there by they decide to charge at Robert Patrick, who just
yeah.
steps out of the way and then says "Olay" as they
Which was kind of
which
brilliant.
they slide down the elevator
Ropes.
shaft
Well,
cables.
yeah, they have ropes are conveniently placed there, which they hit the bottom with literally no skin left on their hands.
No.
or at least in real life.
Yeah, but they're in like zombie
The
morgue.
medallion protected them. Sure.
Yeah. Yes, good one.
and so they have to keep fighting the zombies that he keeps resurrecting.
Yeah.
Until one of them is big enough and strong enough that it grabs Mark Dacascos, and they're like, "Well, shit, I guess he's dead." And they somehow they like vent closed and they escape. They're trapped on the other side.
Yeah, Scott Wolf and Melissa Milano.
And she's like, "We gotta
Get
go.
there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about
Yeah.
your brother."
Yeah.
And one thing that bothers me about this scene is like throughout Alyssa Milano's kind of been portrayed as like she's the leader of this gang and she knows what's going on in town. She's in charge of stuff. And she's just reduced to cowering by the button for the fan vent thing.
Well, I mean, every time there's a new threat, she joins them in the "I'm gonna fighting pose" thing.
She
But
does fight in
then,
the final scene, but not here.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then like she just like as soon as something comes at her, she's just like "Nyah," and runs away. So it's like,
Because she has no formal training, and they're not really any kind
yeah,
of
no.
power corp.
Yeah, but it's not like Scott Wolf does either.
Well,
Yeah.
well, no, I don't mean her. I mean her in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
this power core literally has
Yeah.
no reason to
You've
be
seen their
anything.
base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
That's
is no
true.
training going on.
Yeah, you got a
Hula
good point.
hooping in
Yeah,
video
it's
games.
basically Bonnaroo. Yeah. I mean, anyway, yeah, it's.
I'm gonna go to Bonnaroo next year. If it's just hula hooping and video games.
It'd be
Yeah.
all right.
But yeah, so they escape and assume Mark Dacascos is dead. They go back to Power Core Bonnaroo and start hanging out, and Mark Dacascos kind of just shows back up, right? Doesn't he just kind of like,
Well,
hey
no,
guys?
all the gang just pops in.
Oh, that's
They
right,
all
yeah.
repel
yeah,
in.
defenestrates through windows.
Yeah, and they're
That's
like,
right.
it's just big crazy fight going on.
Yeah, and then Mark Dacascos behind him. They're like, "Hey, brother, yeah, let's fight." And it's Robert Patrick in his body again, and he says like two
Speaking
words.
of Robert Patrick's voice,
Yes,
Yeah, and he.
I've never understood if like everyone heard Robert Patrick's voice or if that was just for our benefit. It was, like,
I think they
or
did, but
the
a
kids'
couple
benefit.
a couple times characters would not exactly react
Well,
the way they should.
the end of the movie would mean that people are hearing the character, the possessed character's
Yeah.
voice,
yeah,
basically. Because we'll get there in a second.
but a couple
it's,
times
we're almost there.
Yeah,
But anyway, like again, it's just like, I'm him, but I have a drop on you.
yeah. And he
And-
hit Scott Wolf the first time, and I was like, "Fuck yes, hit him again!"
Yeah, but now like
Which is the wrong. You're rooting for the wrong thing at this point, movie.
like Scott Wolf scurries away, climbs up somewhere, and he's like, I don't need this stupid medallion. It doesn't help at all, and throws it away. And it like lights up and comes back to him and apparently gives him the power. He's now got the glow too.
Yeah.
And
So
like-
is that my understanding? Is that why the medallion went to him? Is because he had to insult it and be an asshole to it before it would actually do anything?
The medallion wanted to be like dominated. It was just like fucking insult me and then I'll do whatever you want. Because that's what it took. It was just like he went to him because he's the dick of the brothers.
It's just one of those things that makes you wonder, what was the message of this movie?
don't know.
Dominate your medallion.
Yeah.
Really. Just
That's the message.
But
Well,
then,
yeah,
so
it is-
then it gives him
It is
invulnerability.
the shitty half of the medallions. Maybe it really did just need to be punished. All right, okay.
I
To
would
be
still.
fair, I mean, it's not
I
like-
would take that half of the medallion.
It's
Wait,
not.
so-
It's
all right.
It's the least of the two.
Yes.
Still pretty fucking powerful.
Half of it's half of a
Invincibility on one hand, and the other hand, you get to turn into smoke and fly and possess people.
Right.
Those are two really good options.
But
it's
okay,
it's the
I'm just saying,
lesser like
to make it
you can
balanced
sneak
as it
into
was
the
supposed to
locker
be.
room or whatever. But
It's not like the Wonder Twin powers.
It was supposed to be balanced. Like it should have like when
You're
the
supposed to
power
be
of
balanced.
body should have not just been invincibility. It should have like hulked him up and given him super strength and taught him how
Maybe
to
it
fight
did.
and stuff.
No,
No,
it
shit
didn't.
was just falling on him, and he's like, "Ha ha, I'm okay."
I mean, maybe it did, but just not for him because he's
Okay,
a
well-
loser.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm
Yeah,
saying is like,
loser.
what's the good of invincibility when the other half can just be like, "I have possessed Hulk Hogan's body, and I'm kicking your ass." Oh, you killed Hulk Hogan. Now I'm this other guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever.
Yes, I agree with you. One is better than the other, but do not dismiss the other as being shit. I would
It's-
take it in a heartbeat if someone said you want the medallion of invincibility.
Well, I mean, you also have to. Apparently, you can't just live in the medallion all the time, as we've established in this universe. That you can't just be invincible all the time. So, what's the good of that?
I don't-
You might be. Oh shit! I'm about to get shot. Let me
Look,
rub
it's
the
Double Dragon.
medallion.
This
Yeah. Okay.
They thought it through less than we're thinking
Okay.
it through
Right.
right now.
yes, we are having the meeting they should have had.
Yes.
Anyway.
it's
Someone
exactly
at the
what
studio
you're
should have
saying.
said, "What?"
Scott Wolf is invincible. Has some shit dropped on him for 5 minutes or so, and then
Yeah.
somehow gets the medallion knocked out of his hands, giving it to Robert Patrick. Right,
Kind of.
and he gets both halves.
Is
Yeah.
it when Robert Patrick tries to drop a heavy bag onto
Mark
Mark
Dacascos.
Dacascos'
Well, he's-
body and is like, "Hey, you're going to kill him. If I can't beat you, I'm just going to kill your brother." Then.
Right.
Oh yeah, because he's fighting. He's having to fight
Yeah.
Robert Patrick and Mark Dacascos' body. He's like, "Sorry, brother, I'm gonna have to kick your ass and try to
Yeah.
get him out of there." Yes, and he's like, "Well,
So-
I can't beat you because you're invincible, so I'm gonna kill your brother."
Yeah.
And he
So is
rescues
that
him.
like when he tries to catch the heavy bag and get out of the way?
Yes,
that
he
drops
his
it?
half,
Yeah.
and then Robert Patrick goes Caspering over there and grabs the thing and is like, "Yeah, I both halves, and now I'm super powered, which drains all the power out of New Angeles."
Yes, and
And-
turns him into two swordsmen.
Yeah.
Two like demonic
Yeah,
So now the
black
two of, yeah.
rubber makeup.
right.
The two of them are
guys.
trying to fight these two evil swordsman guys
Mm-hmm.
until Sloth comes out of the corner and is like, "He don't like light." Well, Alyssa Milano's like, "I better go turn on the generator." So she bounces down there.
Well, he was
literally.
chained up
Yeah.
in the bathroom and saw himself in the mirror, and
Well,
a
yes,
single
he
tear
He does have a moment.
comes down his face.
He did have the
So
Indian with the
great.
garbage moment there.
He's like, "I'm ugly." Yeah.
I'm
the garbage.
I'm homely.
So he's like, "I will change alliances and I
Yeah.
will help them because I'm ugly."
So yes, Alyssa Milano bounces down, turns on the generator after a few tugs.
She has no upper body strength. She can't pull a thing.
Everybody, even
Start the boat.
everyone had to do that.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
this shitty
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing. Anyway, so like turns on the lights and the evil skeleton guys are like, light, oh bad,
Yeah,
and
drops a medallion.
drops the medallion, and then the two brothers take it, and their Wonder Twin powers activate.
Well, they
and,
high five each other with it.
Yes, and then they turn into Siegfried and Roy.
Yes.
And then they kick two halves of
Well,
Robert Patrick.
not
back
only do
together.
they turn to Siegfried and Roy with the blue and red outfits that are
Uh-huh.
on the poster,
Mm-hmm.
but the face of Satori or whatever her name is
Yeah, that does happen.
shows up in the sky and says, "The power of the double dragon has been unleashed," or something just so completely generic that. But
But
everyone
her head
stops
is
to
floating
look
in
at
this
it.
like
With, like,
sparkly
Pixie
cone.
dust and shit.
It's so great.
It's like, wait, could you have done that the entire time? What were you waiting for?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why didn't you pop up when he put the thing together? Could you have not said, "Oh shit, look out, he's twin samurais now. You got to
Yeah.
get out of here."
I think it was kind of apparent what was happening when that was happening.
Yeah,
But I thought she wasn't their mother.
But she
Apparently,
she could have said turn on the lights.
yeah.
Maybe she couldn't manifest unless the proper
Whatever.
the proper
Again,
persons
this meeting should have been had at the
The
studio.
point is, she's a terrible guardian.
yes.
She imparted no useful knowledge on them
No.
until after they needed it.
Exactly. Okay. So yes, they
That
turn
happens
into,
in a lot of movies, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
they turn into Siegfried and Roy, fight Robert Patrick. Well, can't just kick him around for a little bit until whichever one has the power to take over. I guess it's Mark Dacascos.
Yeah.
Goes into his body just as the police chief comes running in and has him write out a check to the police precinct for.
Well, he beats himself
120
up for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To which everyone's like, ha ha, funniest thing I've ever
Well,
seen.
he's doing it with a big Mark Dacascos grin on his face.
Yeah.
So he's enjoying it. So it's this weird visual of happy Robert Patrick beating the fuck
I
out
wonder
of
if it's
himself.
like if they let Robert Patrick do the impersonation of him that way with that, because earlier on, like when he was possessed, but when Mark Dacascos was possessed by Robert Patrick, he was doing a lot of eyebrow raises
Yeah.
and like
They both
trying to
did
do-
like Dacascos did a good job of imitating
Yeah.
Robert Patrick, and
Yeah.
Robert Patrick did a pretty good job of imitating Mark Dacascos.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought-
They probably hung out for a day, watched each
yeah.
other, and were like, hey, oh, you do that thing? Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is what I'm saying. I think the people in the movie are hearing Robert Patrick's voice, even though Mark Dacascos has possessed him, because the police chief busts in and he's like, "Hey, Captain, here, let me write a check." And I don't know, he's got some kind of pocket check printer thing for the
Yeah.
future.
It's like a betting slip generator. Is
Yeah, he gives him a Keno ticket. And
Yeah.
like he's like, "Here's 127 million." He's like, "I'm not taking a bribe." He's like, "Not a bribe, arrest me."
and the chief's
so
like,
he-
fuck yeah.
So he does and puts the cuffs on him, and Mark Dacascos apparently, Patrick
Magics
Swayze's
his
out of
way
there,
over.
and then it's like, oh, and so he like wakes up and he's like, what? No, give me back that check. Give me
Nah.
back that check. He
Nope.
says about 3 times, and then he's like, his final line is, "If you think I'm evil, wait till you get a load of my lawyers."
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, and he just, that's the animated gif of this movie, is him just maniacally as they're putting him into the back of the car. Just,
Yeah.
ha ha, I'm
And
evil.
I don't know, a little bit more Siegfried and Roying, and it gets weird. It gets weird between
Well-
the brothers at the very end.
Yeah, and then Adobo Bobo wants to drive the car around. Like he's like, "Hi guys, I want to be friends. Let me drive."
I drive car. Dur,
Yeah.
dur, 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 dur.
So they all get in the back seat,
Yep.
and then he's like, "Ha ha ha ha, drive." And then they do their last scream.
Mhm.
Well, that's because they
look at the camera.
Well, because they think
Mark Dacascos and
they think Scott Wolf is possessed.
yeah, they
him.
think Scott Wolf.
I
is
guess when they're
possessed at
together,
Adobo.
they can switch powers.
I don't know. Yes.
Because it was Mark Dacascos doing the possessing earlier. Now they think Scott Wolf is.
Oh, see, I
possessing
didn't
him.
even get. I thought they were just like, "Hey, Bobo, come drive
No,
our
they
car."
thought Scott Wolf was inside of Bobo, being goofy or whatever.
Didn't pick up
Nope.
on that.
Maybe
at
they
all.
can
I
switch
didn't pick
powers.
up on
Because
that
he pops up out of the back of the trunk like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And they're like, that's when they scream like, "Oh no, it's actually a Bobo. We're gonna die!"
okay.
Ah, and movie over.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I picked
Not
that
much.
up. Yeah,
Okay, great.
picked it up.
So
Yep.
that's Double Dragon.
Did you get all that? All
In
right.
summary,
I know I did.
the 90s were good times. If you didn't like the 90s, you like garbage, apparently,
Yeah,
or something. I don't know.
but this was made
This
in
movie.
the '90s,
Yeah, I know.
so
Was
I am very conflicted with a rating on this movie, honestly.
okay.
I want to say, I will say the third act and some of those nice touches that are in there helped pull this back up. And I think I'm going 2 jocks. I had a lot of fun. I hate, that's the funny
Holy
thing.
shit!
That's the funny thing is I hated so much of this movie and it made me so angry. But there is so much like stuff that pushes over where it's terrible, and suddenly like a Bobo crying, and like Mark Dacascos doing Robert Patrick impersonations,
Yeah.
and just Robert Patrick throughout
Mm-hmm.
pulls me into the 2 jocks realm.
Okay.
I should hate this,
yeah.
but it crested that hill and then became fun for me. But yes, like through about the first hour of this movie, I was in solid like 3-4 bags territory.
I would.
But then
totally
eventually
agree
it
with
won me over.
I
I don't know how.
I thought you were going to light me on fire when I was thinking about giving this movie jocks at all, because this movie is pretty fucking terrible.
Oh,
And
it's exquisitely terrible.
there's a lot to really not like about this movie, but I was like, okay, there's 2 screen-filling explosions. There's Robert Patrick doing his thing. There's Alyssa Milano, and yeah, but then like Scott Wolf is like all those things are like, all those are like jocks things. And then there's like Scott Wolf is like a -2 or 3.
Yeah,
Um,
he's pretty terrible.
and then like I think I gotta go with I gotta go with 1 Jocks. Like that's the best I can average out of all that. Like I recommend this, but like barely. Like I always want to go higher because like if you could make like a clip show of this movie, it's great. Like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. There's 20 or 30 minutes of greatness in this movie.
Yeah, what I'm saying
whoa.
is this movie, you have to let it win you over.
Yeah.
If you can't make that leap, then you're gonna hate this thing.
It's definitely a movie that you need to watch with some sort of modification to your chemical balance.
I can see that.
whichever your poison is. But if you can let go of the bullshit, it's definitely a 2 Jocks movie. And that is what I'm going to give it because I'm going to just pretend that I was half drunk watching this movie. But Robert Patrick is a national treasure and is worth 2 Jocks on his own. And a screen-filling explosion is always worth a Jocks as well, at least. The other horseshit knocks one off of there, but you can definitely have 2 Jocks worth of fun out of this movie.
All right, how many bags is it, Chuckles?
I am amazed. I really did not think that that's where this was going with everybody. I can't believe we're all in Jocks territory. And we're not, because I'm giving it 3 bags.
Yeah. Oh, Chuck.
Robert Patrick?
Wait a second. This has Astagonists. You love Astagonists.
No, I don't.
You do. Pinball
No,
Summer.
I don't. I love...
You do Pinball Summer.
No,
over
no.
there.
I love when you guys hate an antagonist, and no one was really yelling at Scott Wolf like I was. I was rooting for Scott Wolf
So what you're
to get
saying
punched.
is you're the ultimate Astagonist because you feed off of our misery on Astagonist.
Touch it.
You're like
yeah.
Astagonist Prime.
Yes, that's right. I have the Allspark or whatever
yeah.
of antagonists.
The ass spark.
Spark.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
So 3
Should
bags.
get a shot. Yeah, 3 bags. Robert Patrick gives it a Jocks, obviously. The rest of the stuff gives it a Jocks. So that brings it up to 3 bags from 5,
Okay.
where it started.
Oh, jeez. Sick burn.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. Sorry.
I thought you were having more fun with this than your rating suggests.
I have fun with things, but it doesn't necessarily mean I like them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I laugh because it's easier than crying.
Bobo no like movie.
Yes.
All right.
I am the Abobo of the show.
Let's take a break because we
Oh,
really
thank
need
God. Ow, my ears.
You okay over there, Grandpa Simpson?
to. Just realized just how much my ears hurt.
Hey, Chuck, may I have another Milano cookie?
You want some of them Giner?
No. Hey, pass me and listen.
Oh, you got the doily.
Oh, doily!
A little empty sack going there.
Oh, man.
Ah, there we go.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! I'm way too loud. Sorry. I can't believe I perfectly hit the gain on.
So, anybody have any movies for a second half?
I do. I watched 3.
I have one movie.
I got cookies.
Thank you for cookies, Chuck.
Hey, it's a prop. You see, ladies and gentlemen, on the live stream, we're eating Alyssa Milano cookies.
No, they're just Milano
Double
cookies.
chocolate.
Oh man.
Get it?
Yeah. I'm certainly charmed.
Or chewing into the microphone.
Chewing cookie. Milano.
Break time, fool. Oh yeah.
Yeah, fool.
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 Boo.
Break time.
See you later, guys.
D-Tank. What's going on in the chat?
People like Double Dragon.
Really? Well, I guess they like 3/4 of this show.
And rollerblading. Somebody asked if the movie opens with a girl getting punched in the gut, to which I said no. It does not. And someone reminds us that NC, apparently, whatever, North Carolina did this 6 years ago or something. I don't know.
Nostalgia critic.
No, North Carolina.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
it said,
North
NC.
Carolina. Was it part of their legislature or something?
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, totally.
It's funny how somebody would make it in would just review a movie that's 20 years old before us. It's amazing how that happened.
Totally weird.
Man, an entire state reviewed it. It's crazy. So you didn't watch anything, Chuck?
I sort of had a lot going on.
Yeah, true. But at least you have a hot water heater now.
Yeah,
Am I right?
you are right. I have hot water
So a
again.
brand new one?
Yeah.
How long did it take to actually warm up once they had it in there?
The guy told me it was going to take 2-3 hours, but I checked it 5 minutes in and it was hot, so I let it warm up for an hour, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking a shower."
You were eager for a shower, weren't
Yeah,
you?
and this was the first time I'd ever gotten bored in the shower before like the hot water ran out, because I was like really going to run it through the paces,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I got nothing else to do in here. I gotta get out, and it's still hot because usually I will stay in there until it's gone.
Yeah.
That's
Man, you would have hated when we were in Spain.
yeah.
We had 6 people,
Uh-huh.
2 showers.
Yeah.
You could get through 2.5 showers before the water ran out.
Oh.
So we had to plan out who was showering when
Ugh.
in the evening,
Ugh.
who had the order in the morning.
Ugh.
It was the worst.
That does sound like
I
the
mean,
worst.
you'd like get your hair wet, shut the water off, do the shampoo, then turn the water back on to get your hair done. It was horrible. But when we got back to Ireland and we were in a hotel where it wasn't, where it was like a central water heater or whatever, man, and I was sick as a dog. That was the day death caught me.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, and I sat in the shower for, I swear to God, it was like 45 minutes to an hour, just standing there, like leaning against the wall, just going, I'm either going to throw up or I'm going to shit myself, but at least I'm in the shower.
So best case scenario.
But it was just like, I mean, imagine that your shower has lasted no more than 3 minutes.
I can
For a
imagine.
week.
Yeah.
Every shower. Then you suddenly have like unlimited water. It's like,
Well, that's what happened today, because like
yeah.
the water heater had gotten so bad that it was never even hot anymore. It would just like be lukewarm and then generally start to go away. So we went to change the heating elements, and the tank just sort of like exploded, just like water just everywhere. It's like we thought we
Really?
we drained it like we thought, but it was so clogged that water wasn't even getting down past the first heating element.
Oh no.
So I opened up the top part to take out the first heating element, because it was just like, well, the heating element's bad. I'll take it in.
Yeah.
Open that thing up and just,
Was there water damage in the house?
it's in the garage. So we
Okay.
looked out there, but
Oh.
man, it was just like, it's one of those things where it's like, there's water coming out of this thing. There's nothing I could do. It's
Yeah.
just like, put a towel down. Well, no, that towel is now completely soaked, and 2 seconds later. So
Yeah, my water was in my kitchen.
oh,
Because my house was built in 1947.
Sure.
So
there was no outside back then.
yeah, yeah, but it was like in a box in the kitchen that was sealed. Like you had to you had to basically break into the box to get it, and you'd have to rebuild the crown molding around it and stuff to get to it.
Nice.
That's why I never touched it in the 12 years I was in that house.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
Man, I hope the new tenants are looking out with that hot water heater. I hope they're okay.
Yeah. Well, that guy will find out.
Yeah, totally.
He wasn't on the inspection, so But that was always my constant worry was that thing was going to bust or leak or something, and it was just going to fall through into the subflooring.
Ah, water heater.
Yeah.
Water heater chat.
Yeah.
No, shut up with that.
Okay. We were talking secrets.
Yep.
Says a lot.
Water. Yeah, I
Water.
should get some dumb water too. I drank all mine.
Good, man. It's fresh filtered.
Fresh
People
filter.
talking about North in the comments.
the
never
movie
seen it.
North.
Never seen it.
One with Elijah Wood.
Oh,
Well, apparently he was saying like he has no desire to have that one remade, but stuff like Street Fighter and Double Dragon.
why would North be used in the same sentence as Street Fighter and Double Dragon?
I don't know. I guess because they all came out in '94.
Maybe. North is terrible. Not in a fun way. Like, look at all this talent embarrassing themselves way.
I have not seen that movie.
You don't need to.
No, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I do now.
Yep, now you do. Because whatever I say is bad is good.
No, don't mean it like that. I just like I have to. If it's that bad, I almost think I need to know or something.
It's not. It'll make you sad.
Oh, okay. We do a show called Bad Movies, Fiends. We're the bad movie friends. I should know about this.
Yeah.
Bad movie.
I'm trying to be your bad movie friend and tell you not to watch that particular bad movie.
Bad movie
gotcha.
friends.
You don't want the doily?
No, it's all yours.
We're all friends. We're all bad movies. Bad movie friends.
How do I turn the auto comments on once you? Because I accidentally clicked. Maybe no one
Nope,
has
you're
to
done
pop up.
forever.
Yeah, I broke them. Cookie's good. Good cookie.
Oh, boo.
I finished season 1 of House of Cards. Should I talk about that?
What'd you think?
Should I talk about
Are you
it?
going to watch season 2?
Yes.
Okay.
You should totally watch season 2.
Before
I'm
I
not
talk
watching
about it.
season 1.
You can talk about it.
I'm
Just be aware that when you talk about it, someone will say, "Oh man, in season 2, when this happens," and you'll be super fucking pissed.
yeah. I think I have a couple more episodes to go in season 1. Aside.
All right,
Pick
all
that
you
back up.
listening in the comments, don't tell me anything about season 2.
Well, keep in mind he's got 2 more to go, so don't talk about the ending of season 1.
Well,
okay.
It'll be fairly brief.
I wasn't like saying shut up. I was just
No,
like,
no.
I think I just saw what probably is one of the more disturbing episodes. Kate Mara and Kevin Spacey scene in a phone call in the first season,
Oh,
where it's like, oh, this
Is
is
that the one where the kids go crazy and then they have to kill one of them? And...
it's got some daddy
Oh, wait,
issues.
that's Walking Dead.
daddy issues. Yeah, that's
yeah,
Yeah, I think that was like one of the last ones I watched.
I understand.
I was just like, that's got to be one of the Cards Against Humanity ones, or House of Cards Against Humanity is just daddy issues.
well, they're
They all season
one
2
of-
themed. Man.
no, they're season 1 themed. They're all season 1 themed.
Anyway,
I should not look at those cards without having watched the show. Huh?
Correct.
I have
Yeah,
them.
yeah, because there'll be spoilers ahead. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
So
That's why I knew I should probably wait, and I'm glad I did.
So, movie-wise, I watched I guess it technically came out this last weekend movie, and 2 from 2 years ago. Or
I saw
one from 2 years ago and one from 3
I
years
saw
ago.
one that is new to Blu-ray and DVD.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater. Well, I didn't see it in a theater because you don't have to, but
Mm-hmm.
you can probably figure out what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I don't have any.
Should I lead with that since it's newish?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you can break up my other stuff later.
I'll go second.
All right. Let's do a half. Clap it, somebody.
Clap it. I'll clap because I got nothing to say.
All right, welcome back.
Hey,
Hey! Second
Hey.
half.
Second
Let's talk about some
half.
movies.
Okay.
Let's get through some movies relatively quickly.
Why don't you start?
I will. I saw a brand spanking new movie.
Congratulations. Next.
I saw the Veronica Mars movie, and so I
Ah.
didn't go to the theater because you don't have to. It's
Ah.
reasonably priced to rent in the comfort of your own home.
Ooh.
You didn't
Still
get-
less than the price of movie tickets. I don't understand that. Usually, when they have tried to do these simultaneous, like before on Blu-ray rentals, they're usually more.
Mm-hmm.
This was like a $7 rental on iTunes, and I was like, I would pay that much for any movie ticket anywhere, even matinee. So I'm not
Yeah.
going anywhere. So I basically marathon season 3 because I never finished watching it, and I couldn't remember where I stopped on season 3. So I had no idea that show literally got canceled. Like, they were setting up storylines, and it was like, okay, we're done now. Kind of thing. Like, I thought they had some fair warning that it was getting canceled.
Nope.
No, it was just like, we're done now. And like that, I was like, oh, that was the last episode. Oh, okay. So, movie doesn't necessarily acknowledge that. I mean, it does a quick little wrap up, kind of more for people who probably haven't watched the show since it was on, because I would say that this movie is not something you would ever watch if you haven't seen the show, all of the show, because the show has always been a very self-referential, let's talk about things that happened last season or the first season kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie is not like like when they made Serenity for Firefly, you could watch Serenity without ever having seen it. They crafted that as a well-made enough movie to be a standalone thing, hoping people would just be like, "What's this sci-fi movie? Let's go see it." And this is very much a fan service continuation story thing. I don't know how much enjoyment you could get out of the movie without having seen the show, all of it.
Makes sense. I mean, they made it for people who wanted to see it.
Right.
So.
It's, Kickstarter thing. It was like, you paid for this. Here is more of that, so we can kind of wrap this up, maybe. I loved it. I mean, as someone who liked the show, I thought it hit every point it needed to hit for a kind of wrap-up continuation kind of thing. It was clever. There were little nods and references where they needed to be. I just thought it was exactly what something like that should have been. Again, it's not as approachable as, like I said, I think the Serenity movie, that's the only other thing I can think of besides like the Star Trek movies, where it's like a canceled thing that here's more of it because people asked for it. There's not that many examples of something like that.
Right.
So do you think there will be another? Or do you think this is it?
This is probably it. I mean, they could, because they leave it open to further adventures could happen, but not needed. I mean, it's in that territory of, I hate to say it, but like fan fiction now. It's like, she's back and could do other things. Yada, yada, yada. Keep going if you want to. So, but I mean, people show up, like more famous people than, the show always had people show up here and there, guest stars, but they get some pretty decent ones for the movie, even for brief moments.
Is it something that they could then use this to then generate enough interest for it to come back on television, or is everybody too big for that now?
I don't know if you'd get Kristen Bell back for a regular TV show at this point. I don't know. I mean, she's not a huge star, but I think she's well enough known now that it'd be like, do I really want to do a TV show kind of thing?
Yeah.
Why not?
A lot of people, a lot of movie stars are going to TV now, so why not? It's not. It doesn't have
a
that
regular paycheck.
It doesn't have that stigma of like, oh, you're on TV, anymore. I don't.
Well, and so many shows are going to shorter seasons as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it, because it's like when like back in the 90s, it was a 25 episode season, and it's like, if you were on something like X-Files, it was a grind where it was like 6 14-hour days in a row, and you get a day off, and then crank it back up the next, a day later, and you're doing that for 6 months.
Well, I think most shows are like that now, but they're just some of them have the shorter seasons. But
yeah, now you're not worrying about a 25 episode season. You're worrying about a 13 episode season.
But you have
even freaking 24 is only doing 12 episodes.
Yeah. Well, you've also got more ensemble shows now, so like one person doesn't have to carry the whole thing, so they can some person will work 3 days, and shoot scenes. So
it's possible. I mean, this movie seems impossible to lose money, given how little it cost. I mean, really, the Kickstarter paid for it except for marketing, is what I read. so $5 million or so for.
Has there really been much marketing anyway?
Mostly internet, I guess, more than anything. Yeah, they kind of know who their audience is. It's just kind of one of those things that it's almost impossible for it to lose money. It'd be really difficult for it to. Whereas, again, to go back to the comparison, Serenity, Universal was like, okay, I think they tossed more money at it than they probably should have for what it should have been, because that was still like a $30-40 million movie, and so it.
No, they still had effects that they had.
Yeah,
to do
it's.
I don't see Veronica Mars.
It did all right, but it's not like, oh my God, keep going with this. This is a cash cow kind of thing, And plus, Fox was never going to give up the lucrative DVD rights. They're never going to go up the Firefly name because they're still selling DVD sets, and they never will give it up. But yeah, I don't know. It's possible they could test the waters with like an 8-episode series or something like that and see if people are into it. But yeah,
Netflix original series.
I don't necessarily want to spoil who shows up, but I will spoil one because, just because it's like, if you're going to have a Hollywood person show up who seems to be good at being self-referential these days and showing up all over the damn place, who would you pick? Maybe someone who goes by their first and last name always.
James Franco.
Yeah, this guy. Then points to him over there.
Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's some interesting bits. I liked it all.
Okay.
But if you haven't seen the show, don't bother.
I would not.
Okay.
But go watch the show.
Oh.
That's the recommendation, really.
Wow.
This is the This is the cherry on top to watching the show.
The denouement.
Hey, the show has Richard Grieco show up in it. So.
Well, I'll be right back.
Man.
What?
And Harry Hamlin.
Wait, now you're speaking my language.
Oh, I could keep going. There are other people that'd be like, what?
No, stop.
Anyway.
No need. So, I watched the movie.
Did you?
Yes, new to Blu-ray.
Ooh, new
I
Ray.
watched Thor: The Dark World
Thor.
in 3D, no less.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You watched it on your third dimension television?
I did. It was fun.
Did you watch that through your PlayStation 4?
No,
No,
I did
you did
not.
not.
Because what the shit.
Yep.
But Thor: The Dark World. That movie is pretty darn average. Like,
How average was it?
that movie feels like all the other Marvel movies. You know, there's some I like more than others. Iron Man 2, in hindsight, is kind of a mess, but it leads into other things, and it feels like it's going somewhere. It has momentum. This movie feels like, well, it's been a couple of years since we had a Thor movie, so we need a Thor movie. And it feels like they're just biding time and filling stuff in, and here's Thor, and he's the same Thor that he was at the beginning of the movie, and he's the same Thor at the end of the movie, and he's Thor. and and the threat is like it's weird that the scale of this movie is like they're basically like the entire universe. There are 7 dimensions and blah blah blah, and they're all intersecting at the same time, and they're all under a threat. And this is huge. This is the worst thing that can happen.
This is calling the Avengers big.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing about it.
Yeah, this is like the multiverse is all going to collapse in on itself, and this guy wants that to happen because he existed before the universe existed, and blah, blah, blah. And it just never feels like it's that big a conflict. Like, by the end, it feels like he's only got like 20 guys following him, and Thor's got to fight those 20 guys, and that's about it. It's very weird how this movie like gains scale and loses it, because there's a whole spaceship invasion scene that is very Star Wars prequel-y. Like, there's no other way to describe it, and it looks pretty, and like the design of the ships is really cool. They do a lot of fun stuff with it, and that's the thing is they make a really good looking movie, and they have set pieces that should be more fun than they are, and I guess it's just like, I guess Thor just doesn't appeal to me, is what I'm realizing. I mean, I liked the first one. I didn't really think it was awesome, but there's some good occasional humor in it. You know, it was the fish out of water thing. They got a lot of mileage out of that.
Yeah.
This one, they don't have that as much, but they do have some very small touches that are really good that Thor does. But whenever Kat Dennings is on screen, holy crap, go away, girl. Just get out of this movie. Because nothing you're doing is working.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's bad. She is like incredibly bad in this movie. And I think that's, with her, she hits one pitch, and she's using that pitch through the entire movie, no matter what the line she has to deliver is, and it's going to be about here. And that's kind of how it feels with everybody. They've picked one pitch, and that is what they're doing through the entire movie. Like, nobody has any development or anything. Nobody goes anywhere and does anything different, except for Loki. Because when Loki shows up, that movie's great. That movie is fun, and it seems like somebody's in it having freaking fun.
I think Tom Hiddleston just really, really enjoys playing Loki.
Yes. Yeah, and once he shows up, it's like, oh, yeah, this movie's interesting again. Like, cool things are happening. I'm enjoying watching this. And then he's gone again. And it's like,
No.
that really should have been, like, stretched out for the entire movie. Like, you should have gotten to him quicker, and you should have kept with him longer, and, you know. But they don't.
What does it say that like the next Thor movie should just be a Loki movie? Like, the Adventures of Loki, often cross dimension.
Thor,
Yeah.
The Adventures of Loki. A Thor universe movie.
Yeah.
Don't put it past him.
Yeah, and Stellan Skarsgård's character is just, like, reduced
Weird.
to goofy weirdness. It's really strange, considering, like, that this guy was presented as a super genius in the previous movies, and because he's been possessed by Loki in Avengers, suddenly he's absolutely insane and goofball and just, I don't know.
Is he Dr. Arkham now? I mean, is he just goofy
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah.
No, I mean that's I think that's its biggest crime is like what I enjoyed about Iron Man 3 coming out of the gates as the first post Avengers movie is it was like that shit was dark. Like half of New York is dead, and it fucked up Tony Stark. And this is a dark post craziness of that. And Thor comes along and it's like, wee, that shit was fun because we're gods. We don't care.
He gets to go back to Rainbow Bridge Land and
yes,
hang out.
I'm just
The
saying,
Star
like, but I
Stealers
mean, even the Earthlings are like, well, whatever. That was like one reference to it. Natalie Portman punches Loki, which was like great. That works well. He's
It's
skinny, but he's still
a lot of people don't like.
Asgardian.
A lot of people really hate Iron Man 3, and I can kind of understand why. But to me, at least that movie's doing something. It's doing something interesting with the character and going somewhere. This movie does nothing interesting with anybody in it.
It's just time for a Thor movie. Got to make a Thor movie.
Checking off the boxes of we haven't had a Thor movie in a while, so we need a Thor movie, and it just doesn't feel like it's moving anything forward as far as like their whole universe goes. Where they've been pretty good about that, in the past, and maybe that's why Iron Man 2, despite being kind of a mess, still works because it's like, all right, because you've introduced this character and you're doing this, and the only thing that technically moves forward is the mid-credits teaser, which if you don't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy, you're just like, what the hell is this?
Well, I mean, the problem with that initial run of movies was that it was all building to the Avengers. Then you had the Avengers. And now the movies that are coming out, like I liked Iron Man 3, but there were several times in Iron Man 3 where I was like, why aren't you picking up a phone and calling the Avengers? There's shit going on. Mm-hmm. Someone needs to deal with it. I mean, I understand
you would have to pay for the cast.
I
of
know.
the Avengers.
I mean, I understand both the reasons in our world and in the movie universe world, but it just seems like, okay, we hit that peak of the Avengers, and now everyone goes off to do their own thing, and it's like, well, there's no logical explanation as to why you're not picking up the phone and calling your buddies.
Well, that's why I liked that one, because it was like,
Iron
this
Man
is something
3.
he could deal with himself. He didn't have to.
Yeah,
I mean, Thor is like, it's literally like, it's like extinction level event across 7 planes. Like all existence.
Why are you the only one fighting it?
Yeah. So
And the villain is just very uninteresting.
Yeah. Anyway,
I have Mr. Echo as a sidekick, and I didn't even realize it until I saw the credits.
That's a shame.
Yeah, because that guy's awesome, but when I don't even know it's him.
Yeah.
But at least Idris Elba gets something to do this time.
Yes.
Yay!
I like that.
And it's pretty sweet.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then I will see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's good elements
I
to it.
can
It's
loan
just,
it to you if you like.
overall, it's just like, meh. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's killing time.
Yep.
Sadly.
Cool.
So I saw 2 other kind of new movies. Are we down to those?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the list. We were talking about how many Best Picture Oscar movies have you seen? And I was like, I've actually seen a lot more than I thought I had. I should catch up and at least see the best ones, and then maybe I'll see the nominees eventually. So I fired up Argo and was like, I want to see Argo. Let's see this. And it's good, but I mean, like, was it really the best movie of that year? Like, it's just like, this is good. I don't even think it's Affleck's best movie directing wise. No. I mean, I thought The Town was way better. Yeah, it's just I think it's one of those movies where it's like, historical thing, yay, America, sort of, that we can't talk about. That's the weird thing about it. It's not like it's like this proud moment we all remember. It's this thing that got revealed that actually happened many years later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the strange thing about it.
They nailed the period of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, they did.
Like, it really looked authentic and felt authentic. But yeah, by the end of it, you're like, that was really good. I don't know if that was great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing is, like, even years before, I was like, you see it as like, okay, I at least see why this was up for even contention,
sure,
and I'll accept it winning. Mm-hmm. That was kind of like, was that even like one of the 10 strongest movies of the year? Really? Like that's the way I felt about it when it was.
It might have been a weak year. I don't remember what else was up against it, but
so yeah,
Zero Dark 30 up against it.
Oh yeah, might have.
No, Zero Dark 30.
That was a couple years before.
Didn't that win or no? I don't know.
I thought Zero Dark 30 won.
No, it didn't. Hurt Locker won.
Hurt Locker was 2009. So
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I went back to the year before because I was like, that's the other year I didn't see, and I finally watched The Artist.
Ooh.
On Netflix.
I didn't realize that's on Netflix.
Yeah,
I might have to attempt to watch that.
Okay, so I knew very little about the movie other than I thought it was about making silent movies. I didn't realize the idea was that it was a silent movie. So there's like once that fired up and I was like, really? That is what we're going with. It's going to be a silent movie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
at first I was like, God damn it, fucking hipsters. Like, I'm just like that was my first initial reaction, and I was like, okay, I have to get over that because like things that were going on and the authenticity of people's facial expressions, even when they're not making the movie inside the movies, are very spot on to silent film acting. That like once I kind of went, all right, this is what it is. Let's just watch it. By the end of the movie, it's like it's really damn charming, and it's hard to like. It kind of melted away my cynicism by the end, basically. Like
It's the dog, isn't it?
God damn, that dog is so good. It really is. Like I'm not going to go as far as people are like, give that dog an Oscar, but that's a damn good performing dog on screen. Like it's weird because the dog just follows him everywhere, and to the point that I'm like, there's points where he's walking around in LA and everything, and I'm like, I'm thinking like a normal human being. I'm like, be more careful with your dog, man. That dog's going to get run over and stepped on or something. I'm just like, so I found a lot of myself watching the movie like in fear for the dog, like thinking modern movies like something bad is going to happen to the dog by the end of this movie or something, and of course not. It's all happy and
You're just thinking about Doggist, aren't you?
I am.
It's trained you to think that the dog's gonna die.
It is. It's Pavlov's movie, but yeah. But no, just by the end, it's like it kind of melted away my cynicism, and I'm like, yeah, this movie's really charming. Again, I don't know Best Picture, but definitely worth a watch. I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a strange time for Oscar winners, and I mean, Hurt Locker was like the last one. I was like, fuck yes, this movie, definitely. Like everything after that, it's just like, okay, I guess. Like, I mean, like I said, I like King's Speech, and I was surprised, but really, Best Picture, I don't know, maybe. Yeah. So like, yeah, King's Speech, Artist, Argo. I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Argo was up against Django Unchained, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Silver Linings Playbook, Zero Dark 30.
Okay, so Life of Pi, I would put that above Argo. I mean, I know a lot of people are like about that movie, but it's far more interesting than Argo. It's more unique. Maybe it's too gimmicky. Like After the Artist, like maybe they're like, we kind of gave it to a gimmick movie last year. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I liked Argo, but if it was up against Django Unchained,
Right.
holy God, Django Unchained, way up here.
Yeah.
Like, yes, fuck yeah, Best Picture, that movie.
Yeah, but Django Unchained is not a movie that the Academy looks at and goes, oh, yeah.
I know, but I'm just
'Cause it's
saying.
basically
You're
a
lucky
blaxploitation
Christoph Waltz
movie.
got an Oscar.
I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, you put those two movies on a list, I'm like, yeah, Argo was pretty good. Django Unchained, fuck yes, that movie. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about that movie, so.
Yeah, I mean, Zero Dark 30 it's good, but it's not as good as The Hurt Locker. I mean, Zero Dark 30 has that like, you're kind of cashing in feel to it
Yeah.
a little bit. I mean, by the end, it's like, fuck yes, this movie, but
Right.
I don't know. Hurt Locker is just straight damn good.
So, speaking of silent movies,
All right.
a few weeks ago, I watched what I believe is the first silent movie I've ever watched, a Buster Keaton flick called Steamboat Bill Jr. And I just wanted to... I didn't really know what to say about it, so I kind of held off. And there's a certain charm and whimsy that the physical comedy black and white, well, they're all going to be black and white if they're silent, but silent movies have to them that somehow, even though everything is extremely dated about those movies, somehow still holds up really, really well, just as, 65 minutes of pratfalls. And I was just in stitches watching that thing, and it kind of makes me want to go back and pour through some of the others, because I haven't seen, obviously, any that I can remember.
I think if you're going to do that, I think Chaplin stuff holds up better than Keaton stuff.
Why is that?
It's just there's almost more of a gimmick to Buster Keaton stuff, like a more visual style, whereas there's more of a storytelling element going on with the Chaplin stuff. If you see City Lights, which I think is probably my favorite Chaplin movie, that one's really touching, like surprisingly so. Like, you wouldn't think that a movie that old and that out of touch and out of the sensibility that we're in now could be as endearing as it is. But that movie's great.
Well, I think good stories hold up.
Yeah.
And it's hard to argue even if it's the word is timeless. Some things are just timeless.
You should probably watch the movie Chaplin, the Robert Downey Jr. movie. Not that that's a great movie, but see if that kind of, because they do recreate some stuff in that, and it may spark your interest in like checking some of that stuff out.
Plus, it's directed by Dr. Hammond.
Yes. Welcome.
Yeah.
To Chaplin.
Yeah. I remember that scene.
Uh-huh. That was the trailer. He just walks out on screen, a little animated.
And it's actually just him. It's just him going,
DNA.
"Na, na, na, na." We couldn't get the rights, but I can hum it.
I can hum 12 seconds of it before the lawyers come out.
And then the T-Rex eats them.
Exactly.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Dino DNA.
See Chaplin.
I was actually having a conversation about how one should never, ever, 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 ever disrespect Jurassic Park ever today with a coworker, and
I hope you set that coworker straight.
no, he was like, "You're not disrespecting Jurassic Park, are you?" And I'm like, "No, never,
okay.
ever, ever, even under duress." But I, no segue for this, but I saw another black and white movie.
There you go.
I saw. What year was that?
67.
No, 1964's
64.
Dr. Strangelove,
It's
or
taking a while to stab in there.
How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. And I've been trying to gather thoughts on this movie because it is supposed to be some sort of funny.
It's of an era.
It is, and I think it's really hard in a post-Cold War era to appreciate that film for what it was back then. Like,
It's so dry. I mean,
You
it
can-
is.
it is, but it's also like there are also things that are obviously meant to be funny, and I just didn't like. I not much got a laugh out of me. There's one line that that actually got a reaction out of me, and that was "You can't fight in here. This is the war room."
Yep.
And that was the only like joke. Everything else is just kind of satire. Like, it felt a whole lot like Catch-22, only very specific to a time period and sort of unavailable to a person my age.
Well, it's a super serious subject matter. That's the problem. It's
yeah.
grounded in this horrific possible event.
Right. But,
And
I
so-
mean, but I can laugh at just about anything. It was just strange, love.
Well, it's the 60s equivalent of Wag the Dog. It doesn't like necessarily translate to like comedy. Like, people don't see Wag the Dog and be like, ha ha ha, political satire.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I can remember laughing way more during Wag the Dog than I
there's
think I
still
ever would.
Some good,
sure.
strong, funny bits in Wag the Dog.
And there's some kind of like there's some humorous imagery in this, but I just really couldn't like
It.
I watched it and I didn't dislike
did?
it. It's
Okay.
just it was just hard to kind of get anything out of it necessarily. I did really like Peter Sellers.
Yes.
Good.
Which one?
All of them, all three of them. And I hadn't realized it because I hadn't really looked it up before I started watching it. And I nobody had ever told me, and I guess I'd never read that he played 3 roles, and I was fairly pleased by his ability to maintain 3 distinct characters. And obviously they go to great length to not put them, not have to do some sort of compositing to put them in the same shot.
Yeah.
And it's also 1964, and it's a little bit fucking difficult. But the characters themselves are distinct enough, and there's enough distinction in the costuming and sort of setting to keep them from accidentally becoming the same character. And I don't know why he played all three characters.
He did that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it was he. I mean, I hate to put it in these terms, but he was the Eddie Murphy of that time. Eddie Murphy has been aping the Peter Sellers model for a long time. Peter Sellers would do that was just a Peter Sellers calling card. It's like if you go see a Peter Sellers movie, there's a pretty good guarantee that he's going to be playing 3 or 4 characters in that movie.
But it wasn't like the later Pink Panthers, like both him or something, like the good guy and the bad guy, or because that was Robert Niven and him in the first one, right?
David Niven.
David Niven. That's what I meant.
Yeah, not really.
No?
He just
Okay.
he just kept donning stupid disguises and
Okay.
stuff and playing different undercover guises. But I mean, he was supposed to be 4 characters in that movie. He was supposed to be the dude on the air. He was supposed to be Slim Pickens also, and hurt his foot or something and couldn't do that. But yeah, I mean,
he couldn't sit in a chair.
I guess
It was a pretty
he
bad
couldn't
injury,
ride
yeah.
the bomb.
Again, sit on something.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's just a Peter Sellers thing. It's like,
But I don't see any necessity for it.
You only have to pay one guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
cost saving.
But
He was
don't
a
know.
super talented dude.
It-
I mean,
it
really
was-
super fucking
yeah.
talented.
there's no reason that I think it would have to be changed, or it's not a detriment at all. It's just confusing as to why they would
Yeah.
do that, except for pragmatic reasons. But
Look for a movie called Failsafe.
I was about to say that.
okay,
Might be on Netflix. I don't know. It is the serious version of that movie.
Yeah.
Came out, I think, almost the same year.
Taken from the same book, I think, right?
Yeah.
They made a TV version.
Watch
of
that
it
one,
some
not
years
the
later. Yeah.
90s.
The TV is
version.
not bad.
The TV version's not bad.
Because
but-
it's an interesting. It was like a live
Yeah.
event.
Well,
that
so
they
was
did.
the original one. They were like, we're going to do it. If we're going to remake it, we're going to do the same thing. We're
Yeah.
going to film it in like one
Yeah.
take minus commercials.
But yeah, if you can find Failsafe, it is the same subject matter, but done with sort of like a not kind of jokey, but super serious.
I don't know why I'd need to see it to see that necessarily.
You don't have to. I'm just saying, like, since you've seen this, for an interesting perspective on the mindset of that era, and it's a really, really good movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That one has like, is Henry Fonda in the
Yes.
original? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like full of good actors. and
Yes.
stuff.
Even if you can find the 90s one with George Clooney, it's pretty good.
Yeah. And one final thing, like I don't necessarily understand, like I understand that there was some subtext of like Nazi scientists working for the US, and developing the bomb and on and on. But I didn't necessarily understand the need for them to push that through the Doctor Strangelove character so heavily. Is that all the commentary there is on that? Or?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think like that kind of knowledge came much later or was pretty
Yeah.
new to them. Like we just assume that's common knowledge of Oppenheimer and everybody working for us to develop the bomb. But I think in the 60s that wasn't,
Well, I mean,
like, it was like, America did that. We're America's
Yeah.
best. We built the bomb. And it's
It
like,
was kind of
well,
this sort of like expose
really.
of, you
Yeah.
know what, we went and grabbed the smartest Nazis and put them to work for us, and that's kind of gross.
yeah,
So let's make light of it to bring awareness of it. And
I
it's
gotcha.
that sort of,
I got you.
yeah.
Well, nobody was mad about Werner von Braun.
You're right.
Is that the guy that gave us the electric razor?
yes, it was. The electric razor
No,
and
he
the
gave us
Saturn
the
V
van.
rocket. Oh, the what?
The van.
Vaughn.
He invented the van.
The Von.
Vaughn.
Von.
Yes, the mini Von.
Mini Von. Mini Von.
That's his
Braun.
kid. That was his kid that did
Oh,
the
Mini Vaughn.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
the cargo Von.
Yeah, that's, no,
God.
that was his wife.
Okay. So emails.
Do we have those? Let's do that.
We got a couple. We're running a little long, so we'll only do a couple of them.
Come on,
But
let's run along.
this one's from Yuri. It's
Hey,
pertaining
Jerry.
to March to Costco's.
Hey,
Okay.
that's a thing.
It says about that DNA recommendation I did a while
Oh,
back.
DNA.
I actually rewatched the movie, and it wasn't how I remembered it. I think it might have mixed 2 or 3 movies together in my head. The movie was still good, and the Predator ripoff stuff in the jungle was just as great as I remembered, but pretty much the whole Monster Lucet research facility stuff that I was sure was in this movie was from another movie. And now it's driving me crazy because I can't remember what movie I'm mixing into this. Oh well, not a lot of man-to-man stuff that you might be wanting after Scorcher either. But watch the trailer. The trailer is so bad that it's good in itself. And he sends a link to the trailer.
Do we want some man-to-man stuff?
Well, I think he means man-to-man.
Mono,
y
mono.
Oh, okay.
Hand-to-hand
I'm
combat.
sorry. I didn't understand the literal translation.
Which we got a little bit of in Double Dragon.
Yeah, there was some Man to man.
There was more man to jump on
There
thing.
was mono y mono and mono y Milano, and
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
He signs off something and something like the something.
Good.
I don't know what stuff he's referencing. Never
It's-
read anything like that in any of our emails in the past.
He's like the bird.
Yeah. Oh, and crash and burn maybe.
Yeah. He's just
like something and something. Yeah,
Yeah.
so because people were like slash and turn and
And we had an update from Scott 2, aka Scott from Delaware. He says April Fuels revision.
okay.
He says, "Hey, cast people, S2 again. I didn't realize April was already spoken for when I proposed April Fuels. How about you do it in May and call it an April Fuels prank, or perhaps Carmadium?" Fuck. I think you'll all agree. Death Race 2000 with David Carradine.
you can't just gloss right over Carmadium.
Oh, Carmadium, so good. I think you'll all agree Death Race 2000 with David Carradine and Sly Stallone is a perfect BMFcast movie, unless, of course, it's on your How Have You Not Seen That list, in which case, here's a chance to cross it off. I also think Hooper would make a great candidate for the show, in spite of what Chuck says. Plus, it sounds like nobody really likes him anyway, so fuck that guy and his opinion. No offense, Chuck. Personally, I think you're okay, and I'm sure you're a wonderful individual.
Nope.
As an added bonus, Need for Speed will probably be in the cheap theaters by then, and that looks like it has BAMFcast written all over it. Anyway, something to think about.
We don't have
I'm
any
off
cheap
to get
theaters here.
I'm off to get the oil changed in my Ford hatchback, FYI. An escort service isn't nearly as fun as you'd think.
Oh,
Scott 2 away, hand delivered electronically.
nice.
So I think if we're
I
gonna
like
do Carmadium, it has to be things that are only on Blu-ray, so we can seize the ray.
Wow. God.
yeah. No.
On that note,
Fucking people, all of you.
we got.
Do we have another email that we can read to get away from that?
All right. Let me see. Which I'm trying.
Hurry up, my brain's melting.
Yeah, I've got some that are like. All right. Quick one from Bergier. Birgir.
Burger.
I don't. Burger. Bergier.
Sure, I'm saying burger.
Burger.
Jerry and Burger.
I will be corrected soon, I'm sure, with another email. But anyway, he says, if you guys ever decide to do another Cynthia Rothrock movie, I'd like to suggest picking Guardian Angel from 1994 for the simple reason that the movie wastes no time getting to the action. And for that reason alone, it's awesome. Anyway, Crash and Burn and all that, sent from my Amiga 500. He did send a link to the trailer, but apparently, like, this movie starts up and never stops.
Okay.
So,
We have
and we do need more Cynthia Rothrock. And we need one that actually has her in it, unlike, what was it, Honor and Glory?
Yeah.
There's another one of those too. There's like
I think there's an Honor and Glory.
Fortune and Glory
2.
or something.
Yeah, yes.
Hope and Glory.
It's weird. So many of her movies had a sequel. Like one sequel.
Mm-hmm.
They probably just filmed it back to back and then
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, no, we have not banished her from the show.
No,
We just haven't had another theme month where she applied.
She is a
we
Bamcast
need
favorite.
Yes. Oh, yes.
We just need to do more of her movies.
We need to do a movie
So-
with her in it.
So I say Guardian Angel will be the next one.
Sounds good.
So say we all. So we got
say
more,
we all.
but
Yeah.
we'll save them. We got there's a few April related ones, so we'll save those for next week
yeah.
as we wrap up March to Costco's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess DNA will not be on the slate.
Dino D.
Well, it's only one more week, and we know what's.
Yeah, I think we know what the next one
Yeah.
is, and I'm sure 50 people that have requested it will know which one it is too. So
Everyone's gonna get what they want.
enjoy. So BJ,
Yes.
would you like to let our wonderful listeners know how they can get in touch with us?
Oh, please, can I?
You can.
Oh, thank
I
you.
suggest you do it right now.
Just this once,
Great.
though.
Yeah, just
All right. Check it out. Go to bmfcast.com. Look on the right-hand side. There are a bunch of buttons. Those are how you interact with us socially. It's got the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitters. You can also check us out through iTunes. Subscribe, rate, review. I'm doing hand motions for those of you who are listening instead of watching. There's also a donate button. We are but poor working men who live for nothing but to please you with our sounds in your ears. So if you have a few spare shekels, send them our way. We would appreciate it. And after that, the only thing you have to do is call the Garfield phone. 9105-JOCKS-BMF, 910-556-9263. Call him. We haven't had a Garfield this week, have we?
No, not this week.
we ran out of time.
No.
He just rang and we cut him off.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
Well, call in for next week. Keep it short. Keep it awesome.
Yes. All those things.
All right. Let's get out of here, shall we?
Yes.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast Out.
What we do here every week is one about Jackson, one about that.
Call in about your giners.
Nobody has
I
any
love
contact
that,
for that.
nobody will know the context.
Show's over. I don't give a fuck.
I think everyone will figure out what a giner is. But
Let me clue
Good
you
luck.
to how we got there. We were discussing Alyssa Milano cookies, and somebody
so
said,
you're gonna
"Is that Alyssa Milano's vagina?" And Mackie promptly corrected us that the correct pronunciation is vagina,
Virginer.
Virgin.
and then it just became giner, and
Then we
things.
created a whole new podcast.
they created a whole new podcast.
Yeah, the Giner cast.
Ginercast, where we just
Ginercast.
talk about giners.
So that's why I said if you're going to call
All
in,
the latest Giner-related talk.
keep it short. I really sell it.
And talk about giners.
Giners.
Mom and Dad, I'm
We're gonna
sorry.
cut the giner part off
I
and use
regret
that
everything.
for our side.
Don't cut the giner
No,
part
that's
off.
terrible.
No,
That's
no,
like
it's for this cast.
Oh.
We're
Oh.
gonna cut it off and put it over strictly into the Ginercast
yes,
delivery system.
explaining.
Ginercast Media is proud to present Ginercast.
I should get that Twitter account.
No,
Ginercast.
you really don't. Don't
Can
need
you
that
put an
one.
apostrophe in it?
Oh yeah, I probably can get one in there.
You do not need that account, Chuck. We're not doing the Ginercast.
Put the apostrophe in the giner.
We put the apostrophe in the Giner at the Ginercast. This week on the Giner.
Hey,
Oh man, that would be so great every week to have a super serious intro.
What is wrong with us?
Snicker.
That's more than a snicker. We're full on gigglies.
Yeah.
All right. No.
yep, we're gonna end the live stream on that note.
So sorry, everyone.
That's how it
Good
goes.
night,
Apologize.
Dolores.
Mackie did it.
What did I do?
Rhymes with Dolores.
Mulva.
See, that's why the '90s were awesome.
This week on the Ginercast, it rhymes with Dolores.
The Ginercast. Our lips are no longer sealed.
Shut it down. Shut it all down.
Set the room on fire. I mean, there's no other way.
Strike the set.
I hope you enjoyed the final episode. We're being officially kicked off the internet. We're kicking
Sorry.
ourselves.
The internet.
We're kicking
So
ourselves off the
sorry,
internet.
everyone.
And good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for watching and
Tip for
hearing our
waitress.
new show pitch.
If you're driving, don't drink, and if you drink, don't drive.